Hey campers, this is Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, and you're watching Death Curse Society. Jason never dies.
Welcome back to another edition of Death Curse Society and Monday Maniacs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Red Crank. I got Zigzag.
Whoa. Sir, I don't know who let you in here right now, but this is a closed set. You're going to have to leave immediately. You're going to have to go. I need some credentials now.
Wait, that's the Colonel, man. Calm down. The Colonel, he's back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I have my glasses on? I
won the case. HR is on my side. Let me back.
No, softball season's over. Yeah. His family commitments, at least for the time being, are done. So we got the Colonel back, ladies and gentlemen.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome back, brother.
How was your 2-month vacation, asshole?
Shit, man.
2-month vacation, dude.
Of course.
Work, everybody ready to rush to the ball field, rush to get dinner. Dude, we didn't eat dinner until like 10 o'clock. 4 days a week for 2 months.
Actually, there was probably another playoff game. It's like the finals were tonight, but since, we have such a main event here, he did the right thing.
Dude, you guys are in for a special treat tonight. And actually, Colonel, we're going to have to catch up with you after we get done with this. So
no, that's fine. Like I said, just real quick, this is awesome. I'm away for 2 months for family commitments. This is what I come back to. I'm nervous as shit. I'm gonna be rusty as hell.
Right? It's that kind of night though. We gotta be on our A game. So before we get into it, gang, let us thank our members. Of course, if you want to figure out how to become a member yourself, check us out at deathcursesociety.com. It's like Patreon. Help us out with a little bit of a monthly donation. Thanks to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, Charles, Tanya, and Tyrone. Our crazy Ralph Raymond, and our camp counselors, Canadian Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, Michigan Dave, and JJ. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. And...
Good Lord.
All right.
You all right, dude? Breathe in,
I'm there. I'm all right.
I understand. Yeah.
I'm going to try to bump my table as little as possible.
I'm trying to keep it together tonight, so calm down. Also, before we get to, if you guys do have questions also for the cast that is here, load them in the comments, and we will get to as many of those as I can. But right now, I just want to hit Stacy Lee and say thank you, first of all, for hooking us up with this, and happy birthday as well. It was her birthday yesterday, so
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Stacy Lee over there at C&V Promotions. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's start bringing them in, gang. We got a very special, we got a very special show for you tonight, gang. We are bringing together 4 of the cast members from Friday the 13th, Part 2. It's it's a very rare occurrence on an online show, from what I understand, and I feel more than honored.
Honored.
Very
Yeah,
honored.
very honored to have these four with us. First off, I'm going to bring in Paul himself, Mr. John Furey. John, welcome to the show.
How are you?
How are you, sir?
Hello. I'm
Hello.
good. How are you?
All right, excellent. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing fine. Happy birthday to Stacy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
My voice coming through fine?
absolutely, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
I love the, did you just move or something? I love the bare walls behind you.
No, this is just where an office. Yeah, no, it's an office in my house.
Fair enough. I'm going to send you some artwork.
My wife likes minimalist.
The minimalist approach. I got you. All right, next, guys, we're going to bring in Jeff himself. Poor guy. He's got a bad back now from that spear. Mr. Bill Randolph. Bill, how are you, man?
Very good, very good.
Well,
John, how are you, Mr. Furey? And everybody else.
Hey, Bill, how are
I don't
you?
think we've been properly introduced.
I'm Red Crank. Down here is Zigzag. And down on the bottom is Colonel.
Oh, okay, all right. So,
Just-
what it says, I'm both Bill Randolph and Ron Milkey.
Okay.
I don't know why it says that. Should I have changed something?
I can adjust that if you need me to. I think I can.
Yeah. I don't think Ron would be very happy.
I wondered about that when
Yeah.
you popped up, but here we go. Let's
He'd
do.
rather not be both people.
There we go. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, certainly Ron has no desire to be me. That's for damn sure.
Hey, you never know.
Oh, hey,
You never know.
you guys, how before we get in, can you hear me? Before we get into
Yeah.
this, how long is this going to be?
If you need to go anytime, just let us know and we'll dip
I'll
you
tell
out.
you, if you want to time it out, because I have to leave at about 10 to 6 or something like that. So,
Okay.
Is that enough time?
So about an hour from now. Are you on the West Coast?
No, no.
Where are you?
About 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
About 40 minutes?
45
Okay.
minutes? Okay.
all right. Well,
Yeah,
get on
we
it.
can do that.
45 minutes.
We can do that. All right. And thirdly, we're going to bring in the final girl herself,
Wow.
Dr. Amy Steel. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Wow.
Hi, everybody. Hi, John. Hi,
Hello.
Bill.
Wow.
Hi, Red Crank, Zigzag, and the Colonel.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. We're going to start with just a general question, I think, before Lauren seems to be running a little behind, but hopefully she'll jump in here momentarily. But you guys have a big event coming up with the Crystal Lake reunion, June 2nd and 3rd at the original Camp Nobi Bosco. How many of you have done an event like this before, and what are they like compared to maybe just the general conventions? We'll start with John on this one.
I don't know. Oh, I've never done this before.
You haven't done this? Have any of you
never
done
done
this one before?
This before, so
I did one
no,
last
I don't
year.
really know how to compare. I've never been to a what?
No, I just said that I did one last year.
Excuse me.
I did one last year. Crystal Lake.
Oh, that was Bill. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I never have. So I have nothing to compare it to. I don't know.
Okay.
Amy
What was
just
it like
quit.
for you, Bill?
Amy quit.
Yeah. Don't say
She's
that.
gone. She's left us. No, actually,
Oh, I thought
it's-
Amy. I thought you quit already. It looked like you already quit. Do we not hear each other? I don't get it.
She muted herself, I think.
I don't hear Amy.
Okay,
There we
can
go.
you now?
Yeah. There we go.
Sorry, something happened with my headphones. I tapped it and it went
You left.
God
I
only knows
thought
where.
you left. I thought maybe you quit already. I thought that was a very brief appearance.
No, I am still here. You can't get rid of me that fast.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But Bill, what was it like when you did the Crystal Lake reunion event before up at the original camp?
Certainly it's fun because it's out in the woods, and because we did not film there. And actually, I actually took the two. They at least that year, they had a little tour where you could go around and see the different sites. And that was fun. And I actually was in some kind of a tent kind of thing on the beach in front of the cabin where Kevin Bacon got his demise. So I felt a real kinship.
Very nice.
That was nice. That's cool.
Amy, have you done one of these before, or is this a first time for you?
For this podcast?
No, the event at the camp, the Crystal Lake reunion.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I got to catch up to speed here. It's still so early. It's only 5 in the afternoon. Let's see. I have never been to this camp.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm an experienced camper, trying to survive the whole gig, but never this camp.
Okay.
Yeah, and some people are sleeping at the camp, and other people got too scared, so they're not.
Right. I get that.
Right, John?
Are you talking about one of our esteemed other guests?
That's right.
Oh, I would be referring to him. That's right.
Very
So,
nice.
Amy, you're staying?
Yes.
Not too scared.
Bill,
Wow.
are you at the camp?
Oh, yeah. They didn't give me a choice.
Yeah, I'm doing the camp. I figure if
There's
I'm
always a choice, Bill. There's
all
always
the
a
way
choice.
there,
Yeah,
I
right.
want
That's what my agent
100% of a real experience.
Okay.
All right, well,
John,
gang, we got our
you're-
fourth member here.
Oh,
So
they're here.
let me bring her in, Miss Lauren Marie Taylor, aka Vickie. Welcome to the show, Lauren. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey guys. Hi. Can you guys hear me okay or?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Oh, okay, good.
Hi,
Yeah, I
Lauren.
wasn't sure. Hi, John. Hi, look at you guys. Bill, I just talked to Bill. Hi, Amy.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
What's up?
Nobody knows this, but Lauren Marie and I actually have a home together upstate.
Okay.
Yeah, with our sorry, my mother's cat is chewing on my wire. Hold on. Oh, come on. No.
Look, she has a Jason. Lauren
Should she
Lauren
bit
has a
me?
Jason mask right behind her.
Yes,
Oh.
she
Is that a
does.
Jason mask right behind you?
Wait, you
Yep.
see that?
Yes.
See, I'm trying to help out the broadcast in any way I can.
Oh, there it is. Hold on, wait. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
there it is. Yeah, it was made for me, but am I too loud?
You're
No.
fine.
You're fine.
Okay.
No.
I'm so used to doing this on the other end that I'm not used to doing it on this end. No, this was made for me from a little boy. His name is Eben Phoenix. I think Bill, you may have met him.
Oh, yeah.
At
I
a,
got a couple
a
of
little-
mine are about this big.
Yeah, the Mahoning Diner kid. Yeah, he makes these little things too.
Mine are.
See that?
Oh, yeah. Mine are
Yeah.
about that big, yeah.
I've seen
Yeah,
you talk
yeah.
about the little rocks he gives out. Those are cute.
Yeah, they're very
I've been
cute.
talking about my little rocks my whole life.
That's what. Hold on. Now.
Yep.
There we go.
Yes, a little rim shot.
There we go. Yep, we got you covered, Bill.
That's what the cameraman said when you were in the bed in your love scene.
Ouch!
I got a shot of those rocks.
Oh, I thought you were
Now,
talking
see?
about. He was talking about the size. Oh, okay.
Ziggy, I think you were had a
What?
question to start out with here.
John, you are part of this thing you're doing at the camp. You're recreating the iconic Legend of Jason speech. Yes?
That's
You
right.
are?
Yes, I am. I am. Yes.
John,
That's
have you
cool.
been rehearsing?
See, that was my question.
Do you want me
Yes.
to run lines with
Really,
you, John?
honestly, I gotta be honest. I've really only been rehearsing about 4 hours a day. That's it.
Wow, coaching, rehearsing.
Well-
I
There
bet.
must be a delay because I say I'm. No, yeah, I am going to do it. Yeah. And I timed it out. It's like 2 hours and 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So that's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So.
I can't wait. I think I'm going to stay at a hotel now. I'm not doing the camp.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to see John if you wanted, if you need the practice time, if you wanted to give it a shot
Yeah,
here.
they're going to put the people are going to come and they're going to put 3 people on. I'm sorry, we're talking over each other, but they're going to put 3 people on each side of me, and I'm going to tell the campfire story. As many fans that want to keep coming,
They can stand it.
There you go.
That's
And then you have
fucking epic,
people
man.
substituting for Amy and Bill and Lauren. And by the way, Lauren, I looked at that recently because I was trying to look at the dialogue. And I got to say, like, Amy looks really young. You look like you're about 12 in that campfire thing. You look like you're about 12 years old. It's crazy. But anyway,
Yeah, I felt like I was 12.
that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. But yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing the campfire,
Nice.
the campfire speech.
Yeah,
Well,
they posted it on the website. There's
Right.
a little blurb of you talking about it on the Crystal Lake Tours website.
Yep. I posted the link, by the way,
Yeah,
to
well, they
crystallaketours.com. So go ahead.
Right. No, yeah, but it's not Crystal Lake Tours. It's the Crystal Lake reunion. It's not
Right.
really a tour. This is
Right.
the reunion of all of us, as Stacy told me.
The
Yeah,
the
and-
website, though, is crystallaketours.com.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I was saying.
That's it. Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Oh,
Colonel,
yeah.
why don't you
Well,
jump
the thing
in
about
here?
the campfire
Oh,
thing is
never
that
mind. There is a delay, John. I'm sorry. So go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
John's on dial-up.
is there a delay just for me or for everybody?
It
No, it's
seems
true.
like
That's
it
why
might
he's
just be
laughing
you.
so hard.
Go ahead and finish your thought, John, if you can.
If you can.
That just the only reason this came up is because I read on this website that the people who come, the VIPs or whatever they are, come and there's going to be a campfire for them and they're going to roast marshmallows and stuff. And I said, because I'm fairly bright, I said, why don't I do the campfire scene at that thing? And so they said, yeah, that's a good idea. So here we are.
Excellent.
Great
You don't want to get a practice run in here while we're here?
No, he doesn't want to
You know,
spoil it.
But I don't want to scare. I don't want to start anyone, but I'm not going to do it.
Wait, so, John, I have a question. If you're doing the campfire, the chat, can Amy, Bill, and I get our SAG day rate for the movie just to sit in with you?
Ooh.
Yeah, I got news for you. You're not in it.
I got the picture.
You're not
I got
in
the picture. I got the picture.
Colonel, jump in here with a
No,
question
you're
real
not.
quick.
Sorry to report. None of you are in it,
Thank you.
and maybe nobody else will be in it. I don't know.
We'll be lake swimming and canoeing and archery while you're doing that.
There you go.
Oh, sure you will. Sure you
No
will.
matter what time of day.
Machete throwing.
I'm going to be making some moccasins.
You'll be what?
I'll be dragging my ass down some steps.
Listen,
Somebody will help you with that, though.
well, John, I know you're short on time, so I'm only going to get to my big question first, if you don't mind. And it's been a debate amongst fans for years. Forgive me if you've been asked this before. But what's the deal with Paul? Did he survive? Did he not make it? What do you think?
Gee,
Because you're so smart.
it's
Well, look
You
how
know-
old he is. He must have survived.
yeah, that's right. I've never been asked that before. I'm kidding. What happened? Oh, well, it's up to the viewer. It was sort of left ambiguous in the script, and that's always how it was meant to be. And it's up to the viewer to decide what they think. That's the best I don't know. I don't have any theories. I mean, I just did everything that was scripted. There was no additional stuff. Nothing was, taken out. Nothing was cut. So that's pretty much how it was. What you see is what it is. So you draw your own conclusion. But I guess I think I lived.
So that leads into.
I think I lived, and I short to that I married Ginny, and we lived a long, happy life together.
There you go. Hey, if you're gonna make up your own future, you might as well shoot for the moon right there.
What? There's a delay here. This delay is very long. I said that about it, Ginny and I getting married, and Amy reacted about 30 seconds later.
Well, I'm getting older and I'm a little slow on the uptake.
One of the things that I wanted to talk with, Amy. One of the things I wanted to talk with you about is since you are a psychologist, is that the correct?
I'm a psychotherapist. A psychologist has a PhD, and I just have a master's. So psychotherapist.
So, as a psychotherapist, then, have you thought about what drives a fan to love horror the way they do, and even maybe specific characters like Ginny, for example?
Maybe if I had a PhD, I would have a really good answer to that question. But you know what? Honestly, I am at times still it mystifies me but it's with anything, I mean, some people love fishing, some people love certain things, and they just get bit by this kind of passion. And with horror, same thing. I mean, I believe people have that real excitement of horror, and especially 80s horror. It's not kind of gratuitous torture porn, as they say, but this kind of 80s thrill, and they get invested in characters, and it also inspires them in their life, which is what I hear a lot of people say, that Jason really helped them through tough times in their life and kind of inspired them to kind of survive shitty times and challenging times. So that's really the most I can think about it. And then to watch somebody really try and defend themselves can be really inspiring for people, So
well,
I wish
I had a little
right answer.
I had a little bit of a theory about this while I was kind of researching for the show, and one of the things I tried to look past the normal tropes, if you will, about horror being for the outsider or the weird kid, things like that. And one of the things I came to realize was the two genres of entertainment that really have major conventions include horror and comic books, or that kind of style. Made me kind of realize that horror icons were really my superheroes, if you will.
Well, and science fiction too. Does that include?
And sci-fi, yeah. I guess there's three.
Yeah.
Maybe is it the fact that it's a superhero kind of thing, the similarities being that to horror obviously on an alternative universe kind of thing. Is that what allows for the fan love that you guys get as actors from these roles in the genre? And does this seem like the start of a good thesis? Maybe I don't know where I'm going with
maybe
this.
It's sort of this otherworldly idea, right? That there is. Some people love religion. I mean, that there's this other way of surviving, this other strength or belief that you can kind of really relate to and really kind of put yourself, a part of, make yourself a part of it. So maybe it's something like that. I think you're onto something.
Okay.
Write that thesis.
I think that
I may have to.
people
Go ahead,
love
Bill.
me just because they love me.
What?
They just love you. They just love Bill.
I said people love me just because they.
You are very lovable.
Thank you so much. But where's the rim?
Oh, sorry. There you go. A little delayed on that one. My bad. It must have gone through John's internet.
So, John, where are you? Are you like in Alaska or something? Is that why you have such a delay?
Samoa.
He's frozen right now too.
I'm losing.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, John.
The sound is going in and out.
Oh.
Hello?
You're
No, I
there.
was just
You're
saying
there.
the sound seems to be cutting in and out. But yeah, the horror thing, let Lauren talk. But the horror thing, like Amy said, it's different people like different things, and to some people, we're like movie stars or something. Yeah, which is very kind of cool, But it's interesting. Well, Lauren would know because I did a soap opera for a year in New York, and I would get recognized on the street for a long time. And it's sort of similar to that, right,
Mm-hmm.
Lauren? People recognizing you and loving that whole genre.
Lauren did a soap
Like
opera
horror,
for, was it 12 years?
Yeah, 12 years.
You're
Wow.
right.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us about that, because that was an interesting series.
Well, you know what it is too is being,
Wow.
now that we've got
I
streaming
did it for
services.
one, so.
But we have streaming services now. I mean, the soap opera, my husband used to joke around and say, we would be in an airplane, so I was a little concerned about this. He said, I could open up the door of the airplane and just drop you in the middle of the country and somebody would feed you because you're in their TV, you're in their living room every day. And I was like, don't sim in the bulkhead, but with the horror now too.
They would feed you after you got out of the full body bath.
Yeah, right. But we're in everybody's living rooms a lot more often now with the horror, with the different movies that we've done, or they do all of the Friday the 13th. They have marathons, so we're more in everybody's living room.
I just lost Lauren.
Accessible.
Uh-oh.
I'm feeling lost. Alms for the poor. But anyway, I think that's part of it too, is that people feel closer to us from the franchise because they see us more often now because of all the streaming services, and they can relate in different ways to different characters.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, since we're talking about your long-running character on Loving, how is that different? Creating a character and then growing with it for 12 years as compared to doing it for one movie and you get, 45 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes to build something.
Yeah, for Vickie, you create this character of this sort of, I don't want to say geeky girl, but for me, because I was sort of a bookish girl, I created, for Vickie, I wanted her to be awkward, a little just, So with Stacy was supposed to be like, all American kind of jockey girl, which I wasn't back then. But then, you grow with the character. It gets to the point on the soap opera where they write the scripts for you, but because you know your character so well, they let you improvise if you go off book because you can. Whereas in a movie, writers are going to be really upset with you if you start changing your dialogue.
Nice.
Yeah, I did a lot of improving in part 2.
I was gonna Bill. I was gonna ask you about that. I heard you say the harmonica was an improvised bit that you did.
Not only that, but asshole, this is my truck. Yeah. Thanks to Amy Steel, who actually has copies of the script. I was able to look and see that was nowhere in the script.
Wait, so, did he say?
Asshole, this is. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
just making sure.
Absolutely.
Just making sure I heard that right.
All right.
Is it just me, or is everybody cutting it?
I think it's just you, John.
What? Am I the only one cutting out? I'm cutting out of stuff. Is that just me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
In fact, it's getting really boring.
It's just me?
It is just you. So let me try to ask you one more question, and then we'll just.
What would I do about that? What would I do about that?
Call up your cable people while we're all. On
let's do that right now. Put them on speaker.
Just let us wait.
Charter.
Right.
Well, John,
He's
let
not
me.
even getting it. He's like,
Okay, do you mind that? Do you mind sometimes they put you on hold? It could be like 40 minutes. Is that okay? If you just
That's
Yeah.
well. Let me try to ask you one more question, and then
nobody
maybe
else
we'll
is
just go ahead and
experiencing this
let you go.
for
So
now, I don't know.
I hate to do it, but
Yeah.
You're
Yukon
outta here.
John. Yeah, Yukon John.
John, you ended up guest starring on almost every TV show from the late '70s to the almost 2000, from 8 is Enough to NYPD Blue,
Oh shit, we lost him.
and we lost him. So that's what I was afraid of. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come back, folks. I don't
Like
know.
Jason, he'll come back.
Like Jason.
Right.
Maybe he'll restart and come
That's
back.
what I was gonna say. A
Maybe so.
reboot, maybe, but I couldn't spit it
Reboot.
out because I couldn't clock the delay. It's like it was such a long delay. It was crazy. It was like, man, it was
No,
20
didn't you
seconds.
say that like about 40 minutes ago? And you just heard it?
Well, and he said he was going to have to go here in about 25 minutes anyway. So
Well, we got a couple.
we'll come back. We'll come back to him someday.
Yes.
But Lauren, let me wrap up one more thing with Stacy on Loving, because if I remember correctly, she was the first victim of a serial killer in that series. My mom watched it, so I'm just not.
Yeah, right.
I got to watch it. I got to watch it with her. Okay, leave me alone. But was that just ironic going out that way on that show after starting your film career with Friday the 13th Part 2?
I know. I always say, I whenever people ask me, I always, because I have a podcast called the Not the Final Girl podcast.
Right.
And I was thinking about it, and I thought, you know what? I was not a final girl in Friday, not a final girl in Girls Night Out. And then it occurred to me, I was not even a final girl on the soap opera, and I was on it for 12 years. So when I think back, and there are a lot of fans, especially in Europe, who were Loving fans. They're just like, oh, we were so sorry to see you, blah, blah, blah. They killed you. Why did they kill you and everything? I said, well, I didn't get killed in Neighbors.
Right. And I do want to come back to Neighbors because here in a little bit. But Ziggy, jump in here.
Yes. Let me pull up my sheet here.
Where are you guys calling from, or where are you guys located?
I'm in Oklahoma. Zigzag is in Detroit, Bill's hometown, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And Colonel is in Cincinnati.
Yes.
Oh, Cincinnati. Go Bengals. Who dey?
Oh.
Thank you. Who day?
Oh, there you go.
All right, I'll take it.
All right. Hey, Colonel and Lauren may just start talking about the Bengals here for 20 minutes now. So
I could talk about the Bengals for 2 hours straight. You guys.
Yes.
Ziggy?
All right. When you're shooting a film like this, there's crew around. You've got cameras, equipment, lights. There's none of the scary music or anything. What do you do to stay into that terrified acting? I mean, did they do anything to keep you guys off balance, to keep you uneasy, just to help deliver the jump scares better, or you just knew everything was coming and that's just your superb acting that delivered those reactions?
They filmed at night. That's scary enough for a city girl. How about you guys?
certainly, I think we were very lucky as a cast just to have a really good cast. I mean, thank God, with Amy and John, I really felt like they were the lead counselors. There was a separation, psychological separation between the rest of us schlubs and them. And I just have to say, Amy just did an unreal job for how many weeks running around in the dark, keeping us scared to death. And certainly, yes, when you're on set and all the cameras and everything's going and all that stuff, all you're doing is the movie. And no, you have it's the music and everything else that makes it scary. We just try to be in the moment, and the rest of it takes its course.
Right. Like some directors they'll hold off on. You don't get a good look at, Wes Craven. Nobody saw Freddy until, they met him in their scene, just to keep that authenticity of, that terror. And I was just curious if anything like that happen for you guys. I mean, it's scary enough as it is, and you guys certainly pulled it off.
Did you see Warrington's makeup, Amy, before he went through the window?
You know what? Yeah, I probably did, because it was a really long, it took hours and hours and hours. So by the time you see it, it's like, oh God, that looks pretty nasty. But what it's really is like, this is what I usually say to fans too, is that if I said to you, in 5 seconds, somebody is going to walk up behind you and scare you, you would start, your adrenaline starts going up, right? Like, so you can kind of like feel that in your body. So even though it's scripted, even though Warrington was going to come through the window, it still is, I have to act one way. And then the high-speed camera starts going shh, and it starts rolling, and you still have to pretend nothing's going to happen. But you know that behind you, even though it's plastic glass and balsam wood or whatever, the whole window is going to break and this guy's going to grab you. It's still scary knowing that that's going to happen. And it's the same thing with running around in the middle of the night. First, you're exhausted, and the script is, oh my God, he's running there. Okay, now he's going to be behind you. Now hide behind the car. Now see if you can reach the window. And you're already, the adrenaline is going. And then, you put a little music and a little color correction, and then bam, you got it. But it's just the whole thing is kind of scary. You kind of get, creeped out, and then, living at night running around for 3 weeks or a month or however long it was, maybe 6 weeks. But also when Steve Dash came on board and he was Jason in the sack, he was just kind of a creepy guy off to the side anyway. So it's not like he takes off his mask and we're all shooting the shit. No, he was doing his thing off to the side. Kind of the stunt people, and then I had my stuff going on, so they're kind of shot a little bit differently. So Steve likes to say that, I wouldn't give him the time of day because he was so creepy, but it's kind of true.
He has said that. I've seen him say that before. Yeah. Rachel says here, John's internet is worse than Zag's, and we didn't think that was possible.
I'm the asshole with the bad internet. That's true.
Yeah, it is true. Stacy Lee says he didn't like the guest star question. And then Terrence has a good one. It was somebody in John's fucking room.
Yeah. Oh, good one, Terrence. That was great. That's
true.
A
good one. Let me see here. Actually, I think we got a couple of sponsors for this show, and we got to take a short break. We will be back right after this. Stick around. Yeah, 30 seconds. So
when I see that certain spark in a woman's eye, I want to get closer to her.
Of course a guy's gonna sweat sometimes, but when you're close, who wants a guy that smells?
To me, when a woman sweats, it just isn't sexy.
I like a guy who knows what he wants. Especially if it's me.
Get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry Solid. Arid Solid fights wetness ordinary deodorant sticks can't.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
Whoa!
I was trying to be done with this before we came back.
Oh my God, you guys like that? That's an oldie goldie.
Yeah, how was that one of your early commercial gigs?
Probably. Sure looked it.
I thought we clipped that from the production meeting. Sorry about that.
No, we
welcome back. You're muted.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
Hold on, let me get John here.
I can hear him.
Hold on, let me get him here.
No, I can't.
Nope.
John, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Your mic is disconnected, John, it says. No.
It's down below.
Look at that face.
There he is.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, sir. There we go.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But you're on delay.
Back to the delay.
I'm sorry I've ruined the whole thing. So you were going to ask me a question? I have like 10 more minutes, so go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to ask you.
Let's get right back to me.
Yeah. We're cutting him here pretty soon. So, John, what I was trying to ask you was you'd guest starred on virtually every TV show from like the late 70s to almost the year 2000, from 8 is Enough to NYPD Blue. Do you have one that was a favorite that you worked on in terms of like your character development or the supporting cast or just the on-set atmosphere?
Well, I did like 5 episodes of the Botchko series, Bay City Blues, about minor league baseball, which I really loved. I was actually Sharon Stone's husband's sports agent, his agent. So, and then I tried to, pick her up, and that was a really fun part. And then I show called High Incident that Spielberg produced about cops in the valley, and I played. That was a great part. I was in like 6 episodes of that over 2 seasons. I played a wife beater, which was really cool. That was a fun part. I mean, that's awful guy, but
Yeah.
There's a funny story about that too, because when I read for that, I'll be quick, but when I read for that, there was a bunch of people there, like big sort of Irish burly guys, red-faced guys and stuff. And I thought I'll never have a chance. And then I got the part, and I went to the set, and the director said to me, "You know why you got this part?" And I said, "I have no idea." And he said, "Because Spielberg thought you were the last person that would look like they would beat their wife." And that's why I got it, which I thought was pretty interesting. And he actually directed me in an episode too. So, I don't want to brag, but I worked with Spielberg.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, we maybe could have we could have used you in Stephen Bochco's Cop Rock too, and maybe that show would have lived longer than a season.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but didn't everybody sing in that? Didn't everybody have to sing?
I think they had to, but not everyone can do it. I'm glad you're back, though. I'm glad you're clear and sounds like the delay is a little better. Colonel, jump in here for a question.
Give me 1 second. Go on, because I kind of. Is that
Okay.
kind of a question? So I got.
Okay. Well, while you're
sorry.
looking, let me ask Bill something here while you're looking. You shared a lot of screen time with Marta Kober, and I wanted to know what that was like. How did you build your relationship together off screen to make it feel so natural on screen?
Actually, Marta was from New York. Stu was from New York.
Mm-hmm.
So Marta, Stu, and I, and actually Stu was playing jazz piano in New York at various clubs. So we would go listen to him play. And at one point, like all of us and our, at the time, spouses, or, partners or whatever you want to call them, we all went out to dinner. So by the time we got onto set, Stu, Marta, and I were friends. And that was tremendous. I mean, it helped immensely.
God, I never knew that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
And certainly Stu is, he's just plain brilliant. And he would keep us laughing. A lot of those jokes were ad-libs that he was just running through,
Right.
While the camera was going. And, we're very lucky. And we were lucky that Steve Miner was so loose in the sense that he would allow those things to happen and, cut around them.
Mm-hmm.
So he, it was fun. We had a good time.
Very good. Very good. So
Does
since
anybody
you
know
knew,
how is Stu? How is Stu?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I've been, I have, tried to keep up with him on Facebook, but it does take him a long time to get back, and he never really reveals anything. It's always something that's very, kind of witty and gives no indication whatsoever that the troubles that he's having.
Fair enough. Well, we wish him well.
Like
Yeah.
health
Yeah.
troubles, physical problems.
Yeah, he has MS. I think it is MS. Yeah.
Parkinson's?
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
I don't.
That's true.
You know, I don't know. I was a doctor on TV, but.
All right, Colonel, you got one now?
Yeah, that's going to be hard to follow this. I'm known for asking the offbeat questions. These guys are serious, unlike the clown. So this is for
Great.
Bill and John. Not knocking you guys because it was the time period. But how hot was it having a head of hair like that? Like your guys' hair was thick. Like I can only imagine how hot you must have gotten during the day.
Just from our hair?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you can put a roller in it. It was at least 6 inches thick.
Well, I not only do I have my
Yeah,
hair, but I had a hat too.
Let me
You
go
still
first.
have hair.
Can I go first? I had to my hair was not looking so good on Friday the 13th. It kind of looked like Mo from the Three Stooges. Kind of like a bowl. Some days were better, but you know. But no, it didn't. We didn't get hot because truthfully, we shot a lot at night, so it was cooler. I think 3/4 of the shoot was at night, right?
Well, and it was fall. It was in the fall, too.
yeah. In
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, we
somewhere.
didn't start shooting until after Labor Day, right?
Yeah, I think it was September, October was I think when it was shot, because it was after one of the SAG strikes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Jeez, and here we are, right back again.
Yeah, and we're still back in it. Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah. Ziggy, you got a question up there?
I'll just, how was this project presented to each of you? How did your agents just brought it to you? Was it looked at as just another paycheck? Or did you seek new representation when they presented this to you? I mean, how aware of Friday the 13th were you? Was
Wow.
it, did they title it Friday the 13th too? Was it already called the sequel and everything like that?
No, it was called Jason, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just called Jason.
Yeah, but they did say it was the sequel to Friday the 13th, and would have just made a ton of money. And this was 5 minutes after the ton of money came out. They said they're going to do it again. So it was kind of like, I don't know, but I'll just go to the audition, because you're an actor and you want work. And so I just kind of went to the audition thinking, I'll see what happens. But yeah, God, the rest is history.
Yeah, well, I mean,
certainly on the
ancient
Upper West,
history.
Yeah, on the Upper West Side before
Yeah.
anybody was famous. Actually used to go bowling with Kevin, and knew a couple of his girlfriends, and so I had seen the first one, and I knew I was Kevin's clone in part 2. So at some point when we were bowling, I said, "Hey, Kevin, I saw your movie. I'm playing your brother in part 2." And we had a bit of a laugh about it.
That's a good lineage right there.
Oh, let me tell you.
Bill,
Yeah,
I think you
now
lost me on that one.
what?
I think you lost me on that one, Bill. I don't.
No, yeah, I know, yeah. Right, yeah. I think I lost everybody when I started comparing myself to Kevin Bacon.
I'm right with you, man.
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I will say that when I just saw part 1 not too long ago, and I went, oh my God, they are the exact same characters, the exact same plot, the exact same, it's just a little bit of a different look.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we got lucky because I think ours was better than theirs.
Yeah, I do too. Don't tell anybody that.
It is
And
the same movie.
most of the fans, a lot of the fans think that too. You'd be surprised, like if you look at some of those websites and people, line them up and rate them, and it seems to like part 2 comes in, as the best one more often than all the others. Do you guys think that? I mean,
Well, at least that's what they tell us.
Part 2 is top 3 for me. I'll be honest. I like the final chapter the best. I like part 6 second, and then
Yep.
part 2, then part 2.
Wow.
And this is why he's wrong, because part 2 is number 1.
There you go.
He's been a staunch defender of part 2.
I knew I liked you best, Red Crank. I knew I liked you best.
We've had this debate out, without you guys. So,
Right.
but yeah, we battled it out to the bone on that.
Yeah.
How about the Colonel? What do you say, Mr. Funny Man?
This is where I'm the
Colonel, what do
black
you
sheep of
think?
the group. I agree with Zag. 4 is the best. And like, this is just personal nostalgia for me. 4, 5, and 6. The Tommy arc is my favorite in the exact order.
Wow.
But part 2 is number 4. I mean, it's still good.
Jeez.
It's one of the few, well, no, it's
Number 4.
Jeez.
To be fair,
So we don't even get listed in the books.
Way to kiss their ass there, Colonel.
Like I said,
F
2
the Bengals.
Supposed to be my best friend when he said "Who Day." I remember that.
I'm gonna start singing songs from Oklahoma now instead.
Hey, I'm game with that.
I will say, John, you do kick off the final chapter, part 4, with the iconic speech once again.
Mhm.
So there's that part of it. So I mean, you're there, man.
He
Yeah,
hasn't got-
and I never knew that. I
and
never
he's
knew
never
that
gotten
until
a
I
single
went to.
residual from it.
Right.
Yeah.
You better call your agent.
No,
man.
no, actually, there's a story behind that. I never actually knew that until I went to one of these shows, a convention, and someone told me that. And then I'm in a couple of other subsequent ones, clips of it from the campfire. And, long story short, I called my agent, who called the union, who called Paramount, and I got a decent paycheck for that because they weren't. I was getting no residuals.
Wow.
Nice.
Cheap
See?
bastards.
All right, here comes the support, and I'm glad these comments are covering up Colonel's face too.
All right, Chris.
I personally like part 2
Chris.
better. Brian says the Colonel just got demoted.
Oh,
Brian,
yowzer,
I get demoted every
It's
week.
funny, Brian. Very funny.
Yes.
Rosie says 100% part 2 is better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rosalia.
All right, Rosie. Who else?
There we go.
There's got to be more than 3 people watching this.
Well,
I can't lie.
oh no. Stacy says, Red Crank, where'd you get these guys?
I'm saying I'm on topic too much saying the exact thing about part 4, so I can't welch on it now, man. That's just credibility thing.
I will get to it. Give me my good graces again. We did rank our Friday 13th final girls. Amy Ginny was my number 1.
Okay,
Yes.
we're back in.
Yeah.
Back
Bingo.
in.
There you go.
Who day?
Okay.
All right, who day?
See?
Yeah.
See? Tricia says,
Oh,
Jenny, we love you.
Yeah.
Yay.
There you go.
Ginny,
She
Ginny
is.
was amazing. I gotta say.
How would Jenny fare against the zombie version of Jason
In later films?
in the later films?
He's a zombie.
Because he's not, you ain't going to be able to give him that nut shot anymore.
Well, believe me, Ginny would figure it out. Nuts or no nuts. She would definitely.
What did you say? Give
Fine.
him the nut shot? Oh.
Yes.
Ginny
Yes,
likes
but-
power tools and stays with the upgraded version of each power tool. So she would definitely figure it out.
I believe that.
The evolution of the psyche of Jason. She'd be right there.
One step ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold up a mirror. Look at yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, there we go. Rodrigo says part 2 is the best final girl in horror history.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Ginny.
I dare say that includes Jamie Lee Curtis because she said all of horror.
Yep. All of horror.
Amy, very nice.
I like Jamie Lee,
He
but
is
I'll tell you
good.
what. I tell you what. We're going to be in Albuquerque in July,
Yeah.
and we get to see Amy and Adrian. And I almost caused a wreck in the car when we got the news about this because we were in Cincinnati all together for a convention there, and I'm sitting in the back seat and I see it pop up on social media, and I immediately lunge into the front seat with the phone
Right
while
in front of my
Colonel was
face.
driving.
I'm driving.
Here we go, and I was so excited. So can't wait to meet you in July. I'm going to have a very very nice. I just commissioned a piece of artwork to be sent over from Japan soon for you to sign. So.
Oh, good. Well, I'm
stunning.
ready.
Have you ever? So you've never met Amy in person?
I've never met any of you in person.
All of the conventions, there's the Friday the 13th Part 2 cast has been inexplainably absent from these things, and we don't know why.
Huh.
The ones that we've been to, the ones that you guys normally pop up are on like the East Coast or West Coast, and we haven't quite gone that far yet most of the time. So we're hitting the middle of the country and spreading out. But
we have Stacy.
Did I miss this? Was I
handling
gone?
this show.
Where are you guys right now? Where are you?
I'm in Oklahoma.
Detroit.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But
we meet up a lot, for different conventions around the country, and Morgan Crypt in Albuquerque, July 7th through the 9th, is one of the ones that we're doing, and can't wait to meet you. We're also debuting a game show, a horror trivia game show there, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
We're talent too at this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
In a way.
Yeah.
Wow. Just wait till you get those different badges. It's unreal.
they get you in all the green rooms.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch behind me.
Yeah.
Here's
So
a good
Zigzag,
question.
What badges?
What did that say?
What, John?
Someone wrote something.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll come back to it.
Joking about the badges.
Oh, okay. We don't need no stinking badges. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's right. I was just going to ask Zigzag,
so
where in
funny you
Detroit?
said that. I was going to say that.
I am
Or you don't have to divulge it if you don't.
about 20 miles west of Detroit, actually.
Okay, because I grew. I actually,
Right.
even though I claim Detroit, I was born in Livonia.
I am just south of Livonia. I'm in Westland.
Oh, okay, all right.
Right
I
on.
know where you're at. Okay.
There you go.
All right, man.
I know one of our viewers that is always Team Muffin would hate if I didn't ask this question. I think she even asked it earlier, but the comments have gone nuts. Terrence wants to know the Jason kill Muffin, because Muffin was not with Ginny on the stretcher at the end.
Before you answer, we have to. This has been an ongoing debate on this show for probably 4 years, whether Muffin
At least.
lived or died in that movie. So what is your opinion?
The dog always lives, but the first responders did not want to contaminate, any kind of thing that was wrong with Ginny with the dog. So the dog went to the vets just to be checked out.
You've put some thought into this, haven't you?
Yeah. Because
You got a whole backstory there.
Yeah. The dog
You got a
went
whole
to the vets
backstory there.
to the emergency vet and cost $10,000, which is a normal vet fee these days. And
Really thought this out.
and Ginny had insurance. See,
There it
not
is.
debatable. Muffin lives. That's what I'm saying.
right.
The dog never dies. Didn't anyone watch The Incredible Journey? Give me a break. Sounder? Don't even bring up Sounder.
What's that pile of fuzz out in the woods then? That's all just...
That's a hairball that Jason coughed up.
Okay.
She has thought about this. Damn.
You know
He
what?
was
I'm
eating
not-
rabbits.
Rabbits. I didn't know
Hence
rabbits had long
the
hair like
dentures.
that, but that's okay.
See, I don't know if the
It's a long-haired rabbit.
That's why
I
the
don't-
teeth are there.
Angora.
I don't know if the dog always lives though, because I watched a movie featuring John last night called Rough Air: Danger on Flight 547 or something like that, where you play a cop transporting a convicted killer back to the States.
Right. Eric
There was
Roberts.
Yes, with Eric Roberts as the pilot.
Yeah.
Not decent TV movie. I enjoyed it.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy who I was an FBI agent, and I was the guy I was transporting on the plane. The whole thing takes place on a plane.
Right.
And the guy I was transporting is he was in that reality series. Wasn't he married to Spelling's daughter? What's her name? That
Tori Spelling.
Tori Spelling?
Yeah, he was married to Tori Spelling. I forget that guy's name, but
Interesting. Well,
And
in that
so
show,
there was a dog on the plane.
there was a
died?
dog. There was a dog in a crate in the luggage container
Okay.
that got sucked out.
Oh man.
of
Is that
the-
right?
over the
Wow.
Atlantic Ocean.
Oh
so,
my God.
I mean, I guess
Better
the dog.
that dog than me.
I guess the dog could have survived, but you know.
I guess kind of stopping anywhere to sign autographs and see if somebody would feed it.
I was wondering how I was going to tie this conversation to Rough Air, though, and I'm glad Amy brought up that the dog never dies, because that was the only way I was going to get to that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, what did happen to Lauren for that joke, Bill?
I don't know.
I don't know where she went. Is she back? Yep, she's back.
She's back.
There we go.
Hey, Lauren.
All right.
Everybody.
All right.
Well, it's time for Amy and Bill to take a break since Lauren and I.
Disconnect.
Well, yeah, John, you
Hey,
said.
listen, I should go. So ask me any. I want everybody to come to the Crystal Lake reunion in New Jersey, June 2nd and 3rd. We really look forward to seeing all the fans. And what happened? I'm out. Thanks.
No,
for
no,
having me.
No. Just you're off to the side.
So
You're
ask
still
me
talking,
if you have
though.
a last question, anything you want to ask
We're
me, I'm
putting
going to
up
go.
graphic.
But nice to see you, Bill, Amy, and Lauren, too. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Good to
Yeah,
see you,
look,
John.
I
I'll
can't
see
wait
you
to
soon.
see you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Ziggy, you got a
Okay.
last question for John before he goes?
Let me pull those up again for John. John, I'll just ask you: did you have any inkling, any idea that this film would reach the cult status that it stands now?
We all know the answer to that. I never in a million years. It was like it was a paycheck. We didn't. It was fun.
What do you
I was
mean?
Amy. We were the leads in a movie. That was exciting. And in fact, I've told this
What are you
before,
talking
but
about?
like it opened like it was the #1 box office movie in America for like 2 weeks, and I one day at my crummy apartment in Westwood got a basket of wine and cheese and stuff, and it said, "Congratulations on being the star of the #1 box office movie in America" from Paramount.
That's got to feel good.
That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
That doesn't happen.
That's got to feel real good.
Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. I don't know about anybody else, but this is the way that my agent sold the project to me. He said, "You may think this is a little piece of shit. Just wait 40 years, pal."
No, oh, God.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure all agents are that forward thinking.
Yeah.
At that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're only making
just-
scale
just-
plus 10, but you just wait 40 years.
That's
Exactly.
right. You just wait 35, 40 years, and you're going to
Think
be
of
able
all
to
of those-
monetize it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Think of all those $200 checks that you get every 6 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go. Bye, you guys.
Thank you,
Have a-
thank you, John.
See you
Check me
soon.
out.
Next week.
Check me out.
We'll see you soon.
Yep. Have
I'll
a
see
good
you
night,
next week
sir.
or in a week. Take me out,
Yep.
you guys.
Oh, we'll take him
All right.
out.
You can do it.
Got him. There he goes.
And there you go.
I got him. I got him.
I'm going to give it to you straight about John.
He needs better internet. That's for sure.
Yeah,
There we
so what did he do to change it? Actually plug into the modem?
He switched from guest to regular.
Or rebooted or something. I don't know. It was a little better there.
It was better. It was, it wasn't like 15 seconds, only like 7.
Yeah.
What probably happened is his neighbor found out he was stealing his Wi-Fi and cut it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Came over to confront him during the show. Oh,
Yeah.
somebody's at the door.
With the dog, with Muffin.
Right.
Somebody's residual check is late.
Right. Hey, we got one more sponsor that we have to get to, so we'll be right back in about 20 seconds.
You want something to eat?
Could have had a V8, 100% vegetable juice, with 3 of your daily vegetable servings in every little bottle.
Oh,
That's very funny.
Thank you to V8 for sponsoring us on this episode. So,
Right.
Amy and Lauren, I want to talk to you about some fan films because Lauren has been featured in one a few years ago called 9 Lives in a brief scene. And then Amy, you've lent your voice to a couple of films, A Wonderful Voicemail to Alice and Jason Rising, and as a closing narrator in Victim No More. Have any other fan film scripts kind of gotten to you or come your way that you've seriously considered at all? And what would it take to bring Ginny back in front of the camera? What are your thoughts about the fan film trend in general over the last several years? We'll start with Amy on this.
Well, I did do another fan film called Tales of Poe, which was kind of a trilogy thing, and I did on camera just a couple days, and it was really interesting because it was a guy that I had met at the conventions, Bart, and it was really creative. It was really fun to just kind of be on a set with friends. And the other films, I like doing voiceovers. I just really like doing the voice stuff. It's a lot easier. I can do it from wherever I am. I don't have to put on any makeup. And, filmmaking is incredibly tedious, And I don't really have great patience for sitting around. I'm not very good at it.
Okay.
But, so I haven't done any fan films, but, there's this Friday the 13th deal coming up on Peacock,
right?
Which everyone's heard about. And so I'm really hoping that Ginny can have a chance to do something really interesting and well supported and well written. That's kind of the key. Like, God, if you have a good script, because I did a lot of work in film and TV, but it wasn't all that often that I got a great script. And when you get a great script, oh my God, you can just like speak it. And it's just so much nicer. It's like just the work can just kind of happen. And so so I'm just hoping that maybe that Ginny can come back and there's a good script and good support, and Brian Fuller's going to do what he says he's going to do. And so I think this is the best we've had so far, the best chance.
I'm very happy that Brian Fuller has his hands in this, because that gives me a little hope for it.
Yeah.
So, and we know Adrian is involved in that in some way. We don't know, of course, how, but that does leave the door open for Ginny to return at some point, hopefully. Lauren, what about you? What can you tell us about your fan film, 9 Lives? And
it's just very similar. Stacy, oh my gosh, I'm getting my characters mixed up. Vickie is still alive because you see her getting dragged down the steps in the Packanack Lodge, but she's not part of that mishmash, the mosh pit of dead bodies in Mrs. Voorhees and Jason's shack, in their love shack. So the premise for that was that she's still alive and she follows any kind of news regarding Jason Voorhees. And then I'm doing something in a couple of weeks. It's just a super short for a friend of mine. And, I'm just a mom in the horror movie, but it's kind of cool. It's
nice.
Takes place on Halloween night. And then last year I did a full-length feature. The working title is In a Violent Nature. And it was a lot of script, and it was fun. It was shot up in Canada, in Sault Ste. Marie. And all I can say, because I signed an NDA about it, I did get to drive a truck with the camera on the truck. And that was kind of cool. I had like a 4-page monologue. And I was like, are you going to have cue cards on the front of this truck? And he said, no, you have to memorize all that. I was like, all right, try this. Road trip with the recording. But that was cool. But let's just say this. I play a woman, a backwoods woman who knows a little bit too much about gore and blood.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a great experience.
The film in Canada, that hasn't been released yet, correct?
No, not yet. Not yet. No. They're
we'll definitely look for it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Ziggy.
Bill, did you have anything going on or anything to do with anybody approached you about reviving characters or anything, or?
Absolutely not.
Jeff is definitely done.
Nobody gives a shit about Jeff. No, the thing is that I actually, and this is my excuse. I worked at the Daily News for 20 years in computer graphics, because I wanted to have a son and raise a son. So I, really have not pursued anything for a good, 2-3 decades. But anybody have a job? Talk to my agent. He swears it'll be still around in 40 years.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, wait.
Well, hey, Bill, I wanted to ask you, I know you had a small role in it, but I watched this the other night as well recently just to get prepared for this. Dressed to Kill. What was it like working with De Palma, man? He has always been an influence on me.
I had a great time. And fortunately, a lot of it had to do with the fact that he had just married Nancy Allen. And she and I got along like a house of fire. And the thing that was interesting is that I did this other small film called The First Time, which was shot at Sarah Lawrence, that Brian De Palma was like the executive producer because that's his old alma mater. And it was for Dress to Kill. Louis DiGiamo, I think, was the casting director. Just called me up and said, "Hey, you want to work on Friday?"
Oh. And
it was like, what, are you kidding me?
That was it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And fortunately, since then, because Nancy and I just had a great time together because it was just the two of us being dragged around the city in this yellow cab. We have been friends since. And it could not have been a more fun job. And I did that film before Friday the 13th because, the hat stuck around.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
But the hat did.
Yep. S. Michael even says, "I just want to revive Bill's hat."
Yeah, absolutely. Let's, and this.
There it is.
This is the original hat.
Hold on. There it is. Hold on. There we go.
Also have a bridge in Brooklyn I can say.
Oh, damn it. I've seen you do that before, I think. Amy, I know this is a horror show, but I have to ask you about a particular role in Family Ties.
I'm not really in the habit of calling up high school guys and asking them out on dates, but when you were here yesterday delivering my groceries, I sensed something different, something special about you.
Maybe it was the way I individually wrapped your eggs.
Man, Michael J. Fox is, again, another one of my heroes from growing up. I grew up on that show. I remember freaking out when you actually showed up on it because I'd already seen Friday the 13th at, 7 years old. But what was it like working with him? Because he's just, like I say, a fantastic person in my eyes, but you were with him. I just know him through TV and movies.
Truly a really, really, really good guy. Like how you would think Michael J. Fox would be is exactly how he is. He's very kind, very thoughtful. Like, how he kind of like has that look of like, when you say something, he just kind of looks. He's like that in real life. Like he just kind of like, he's thoughtful is what I can really say. And he's really fun. We hung out a lot during that show and then after the show for a while. He's a really good guy. And then a couple of people have told me that his documentary right now called Still, that scene is in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just feel so honored to be a part of that. I mean, what a journey he's been on. My God.
Yeah.
Kind of that character to have to deal with what he's been dealing with is with Parkinson's. I mean, holy shit, what a inspiring journey for all of us.
When you did work with him on that show, was he just one of those actors that you just looked at and go, this is going to be a star someday? This guy is going somewhere.
No, I
or did you know
I just
him
didn't
more
really
personally?
think about that. But no, he was already pretty lovable and likable and pretty big. But he's just he was just a fun, normal guy to hang out with. You know, he was just a lot like Alex Keaton, only without the vest.
I watched that episode too recently, and I love the fact that you're asking him out on a date was to an economist lecture, because you guys had started talking about this particular guy, and like, that's a great first date right there. You really get to know a lot about a person that way.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out that individually wrapping the eggs fucking remark. I don't. Yeah,
really.
Well, and then then he walks in later and says, "I brought your melons."
Right.
Like that.
Right. Yeah.
See that?
Brian says, and this kind of leads into a question. Vickie lived on to be the manager at the lingerie department in Macy's, a 2-for-1 special on brown panties. Yes. I have to ask, because when I first heard about these photo ops that you are now doing, how did this come about? Was this your idea, or did someone bring this to you? And when they brought it to you, did you go, this is a little weird at first?
Well, it's just because she loved those brown panties so much.
Yeah, I loved them. Yum. Too bad they weren't edible. Chocolate. Thank you. Thank you. I aim to please.
You almost got a spit take there.
I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, how can you do a spit take if you don't have any water?
So I don't know how it came about. So we were doing, it was the 40th anniversary year, and we were doing, a lot of conventions that year to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the release of part 2. And everybody's, got their costume photo ops. And I said to my agent, I said, why don't I do a photo op? And she said, well, what would you do? And I said, well, I don't know. Maybe I can find a pair of brown undies, and maybe we can find a sweater that looks like the sweater, the ugly sweater that I wore, because, they kept all of our wardrobe that they had purchased in case they needed to reshoot. And, kind of sat with it. And I get a text the following week and said, wait, were you serious about that? And I said, oh, shoo, here comes the dare part. And I said, yeah, I am serious about it. So we found almost the exact same brown undies. We had a replica of the ugly sweater made, and the rest is brown undie history. It's a fun photo op, I will say. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
I've seen several photos taken with that op, so I was just kind of curious how that started. But
well, I have
that's a good story.
Be careful when I post any pictures of the photo ops that people send me, that because they get the photo ops and they send it to me on Instagram in a message. I have to crop it, because when I told my husband I was doing a costume photo op, he thought, I'm just wearing jeans and a t-shirt. And one day he was trolling me on Instagram. He said, what's this? And I said, I said, that's the costume photo op. And he said,
busted.
You're in your underwear. I said, those aren't my underwear. They're brown ugly undies.
Somebody got busted.
Totally busted. Yeah. I've been repenting ever since.
I don't know if this is true or not, but Rosie says, to this day, I still wear brown panties because of Vickie.
Wow. How does her husband feel about that? Or partner or whatever?
I'm not sure how to feel about that right now.
Really?
Colonel, jump in here. You got another question for one of these three?
Well, yeah. Since we're on topic, you guys know, Lauren, I'm a big fan of Vickie. She's probably my favorite trainee. But when Paul's doing this whole spiel about bears, and it gets to the part, make sure you stay clean during your menstrual cycle. Did you ad-lib that little elbow, like he's talking about
totally.
you?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
What is that implying, though?
Huh?
Is that implying that
That if you're on the rag, keep yourself nice and tidy down there, because the
I know,
bears
but what's the
smell.
elbow about? What's the
elbow.
inside story between the two of you?
What is the backstory that you would have to remind her to stay clean? You know what I'm saying?
You
That's
don't
just
know
what-
about Vickie? You don't know about the two of them?
Wow.
Oh, see, this is
Hold on, don't.
This is yeah.
That's why she uses a spray, right?
Terry, you turkey. I mean, come on. Ruffling our feathers. That's why I call her a turkey, because I ruffle her feathers. Backstory.
I'm gonna watch this movie again. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes here.
A lot of stuff happening here. No, we don't want to be, creeps over here about it and everything. But I always thought that was like, what does she know that we don't know?
Well, like I said, again, not being creepy, I just always thought it was funny.
It is funny, and it's a great ad lib.
Definitely nice ad lib.
But do you guys know what that was about? This is what everybody always asks me. When it said beware of bears after I spend the night with Paul, and the next morning it says on the mirror, beware of bears.
Right. No, not sure what that meant.
Yeah, everyone's like, was she didn't want to tell him that she was pregnant or something? No, Ginny was on the rag. Remember, he gave the whole thing about be careful, there are bears around.
Oh, wow.
And I said,
Oh,
Paul,
my
I have
God.
to tell you something.
Oh, God.
And then he starts
Okay.
making out. And then
Okay.
the next day it said, beware of bears on the mirror.
Yeah.
And it's
Bill's
so
getting
funny.
embarrassed.
Everyone is very fine about like the idea, was Ginny pregnant? Was Ginny pregnant? And then as soon as I go, no, Ginny had her period. Everyone goes, oh.
Okay.
Bill can't handle the truth.
See, Bill? See? Look, he cannot handle it.
I was kind of leading more towards that you might be pregnant, but
Yeah. See?
all right.
Cancel the screening, Bill.
Well, that changes my sequel script, obviously. Now there have been a lot of talk about this just as fans, but I heard Amy, you mentioned this at one point about the possibility of another Friday sequel that brings all the living final girls back for one last battle. Was that when I heard it on another podcast, it sounded like you were talking about other producers and studios were talking about this, but not necessarily just fans. Is there more you can divulge on that? I mean, obviously it hadn't happened yet, but
No, I haven't even been given a script for that. I don't know if somebody else had an idea and I was commenting on it, but no, that's not happening. I mean, people always bring it up that, would you do it if it was there? And, and I said, yeah, sure, of course, just pay me and make it comfortable.
right. And I've heard you mention pay for my insurance for the year, and
Yeah, I just want my health insurance for the year. That's what I asked for.
Don't make Amy sit around on
And don't
set.
make me sit around too much unless it's comfortable.
Very good. Ziggy, jump in.
Oh shit! I mean,
Come on, man.
Oh, come on.
I'm still rattled from the whole elbowing thing.
You're only allowed one mistake. Let me look. We all got one, and that was it.
Sequels, they weren't really a thing back when Friday the 13th 2 came out at all. And I mean, I always felt like it was a taboo thing. Nobody ever wanted to be associated with it. I mean, I was all over it because I was 9 years old and into Fangoria magazine and everything. But I mean, even when you're shooting a movie like this, is there any point where you're just like, you know what, that's really cool? I mean, just like an effect or something, or just like the story tying together, just where you're like going, this isn't your run-of-the-mill bullshit B-movie, horror movie. This is something good. Did that feeling ever cross your mind, any of you, doing this?
I certainly think, and not really so much in terms of whether any longevity or anything like that. I think that we were lucky as a crew and a cast that we did enjoy working with each other. And that it was a fun set. I certainly remember that. Whether it would have lasted, as long as it has, absolutely no idea. But at the time, I enjoyed the shoot.
That's what I mean. Because, just being proud of it. I mean, you walked out felt good about it. I mean, the acting is everybody carries their weight, and that's the one thing I'm a stickler on with, especially in a horror movie. If the actor can't carry what they're given, man, it fucking don't work. And don't have that here in Friday the 13th too. Everybody did what they were supposed to do, and it works big time. It's scary. It's an actual scary movie. When when you get bludgeoned to so many of these things over the years, like it's just not scary anymore. But these still hold up to this day, and that's like, I think that's
Yeah, for me, being in Carl Fullerton's studio, and I don't know why I was there so often. Maybe because I was friendly with Tom McBride, because we knew each other from TV commercial world in New York City. You know, Warrington and I were chummy, but for some reason, I was always at Carl Fullerton's studio watching him put together all the molds. All the molds and everything like that. And that's what made it fun for me, was to watch the process that would eventually make this movie, you know, a horror movie with the special effects, no CGI, just real handiwork going into it. And that's when I thought, this is kind of cool to be involved with this.
But, you know, also we all worked really hard. We had a great time, but it felt like we were doing something real. I mean, we were really working hard. Like, you pour your heart into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a lot of projects I did, I thought, oh God, this is going to be so good. But I did a comedy with Howie Mandel called Walk Like a Man.
Walk Like a Man.
I had so much fun on that film. Oh my God, I laughed from the second I got there till the end of the day. I laughed. I mean, that was the one thing about movie making that I really enjoyed. I had a great time with crew, casting crew. That I do miss about making movies, for sure, and the places that you go. But anyway, I digress. I remember saying to like Cloris Leachman, like, God, this movie is going to be so popular because we're having so much fun. She says, that's the kiss of death in comedy. When you have a really great time on the set is when the movie sucks.
Wow.
And I thought, how can that be? I mean, God, you look at all those Mel Brooks movies. You trying to tell me they didn't have a great time? Yeah. So, I don't know.
That era, man.
Well, you know, maybe different director.
Yeah.
You know, because when you got Mel Brooks putting it together, then that's why it works.
I have heard you say that Walk Like a Man was the most fun you had on set, and that Friday the 13th Part 2 was the most work.
Yeah, it was hard.
I've seen you quoted saying that, at least somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, when that film was over, I mean, and, you know, I was still really young, new to filmmaking. I thought, God, is that what it takes to make a film? Holy shit, that was hard work. I mean, emotionally, every day, like, talk about getting it up every night, all night long, and it's cold, and also, it's not, you know, we had film. They only gave you so much film footage, and you can't fuck it up. You gotta like hit your mark as an actor. It cannot be your fault, because then I'd feel so bad if it was my fault, if I didn't hit my mark and everything. So it's very limited, mistake wise. Oh, that's so much better in my headphones. Whatever you just did.
Oh, this?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's him muting his mic, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just muting for a minute.
Oh my God, yeah. So, but
just turn it off. We want to hear you anyway.
No, it's muting me. She wants to turn me off, which
that's
no,
what I'm saying. That's what really works.
He's gonna.
Sorry about that.
I was gonna pout.
It's nice.
Well, along the lines of what you just mentioned, Joseph wanted to ask. Friday the 13th Part 2 is notorious for having a lot of the final kill shots cut from the film. Were any of you disappointed that the film was censored and cut that much?
Well, they give it an X. If it wasn't cut a little bit, it would have never seen the light of day back then. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked in the screening. I went and saw it with my agent, little teeny screening room in mid-Manhattan. And actually, Simon and Cumin were there, the casting directors, and they had actually come up on set. So that when and I turned to David and I said, "Well, it still works, but man, was I disappointed." That was it was like That was really the blood, literally the blood and guts of the scene.
Your particular death scene in this movie, when they were rigging that up and getting it together, did anybody mention Mario Bava and the Bay of Blood and using that?
No, but certainly, yeah, it's almost exactly the same.
It's the
isn't
same
it?
thing,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
But just as amazing, just as fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yours, Bill, definitely got cut quite a bit.
Oh.
And fortunately, kind of a story about that was that, certainly I knew that Carl Fullerton had a VHS of all these cut scenes. And we were doing the box set, the recent, DVD, Blu-ray box set. And Edwin Samuelson, who was doing the interview, I said to him, Carl Fullerton has all that stuff. So that kind of planted the seed. And then he and Peter Bracke and myself, thanks to me, because I called Carl on the number that I had for New Jersey, which actually still had a voicemail. And I said,
when was this?
This was just like a year or two ago.
Oh my God.
And
the box set came out 2 years ago.
years.
So they probably were working on it 3 and 4 years ago.
Yeah, during COVID, we did.
And so I get this voicemail, and it actually says, "This is Carl Fullerton. Leave me a message." So I said, "Carl, this is Bill Randolph for 7,822 years ago. I don't know if you remember, but we did this great death scene, and nobody's ever seen it. Do you still have that VHS?" He never got back to me, but fortunately, because of Edwin Samuelson and Peter Bracke, who did the Bible. Friday the 13th, they continued to pursue it, and it just so happened that Carl Fullerton, who was living in the South, I think in the Carolinas somewhere, was traveling to JFK to go to Los Angeles. So, Edwin scrambles to JFK, tries to meet his plane, tries to get this VHS. They miss each other. He calls up Peter Bracke. Peter Bracke goes to LAX, runs into Carl Fullerton and make the exchange and gets the VHS. And then they had to bake the VHS so that they could get an image off of it.
That's insane.
Eventually,
they did?
Yeah. But it was all because of me.
Give me applause, Frank.
Yeah, everybody with the
yay
box set, you have this man to thank for the bonus footage.
That's the first thing I did when I got that thing. I cracked that baby open and went right to that, man. I had
right
to see
part 2.
And the thing that's fun about it is it's not only, my death spear, my back spear. All the deaths are much more graphic and much more bloody.
Winslow's,
and it really is a nice combination of oops.
Yeah.
The Colonel and I are the gore hounds, and that was the selling. I go, once they announced that was being added to the box set, that was it. There was no way I could not buy those movies a third time. So,
they're the gore They're the gore hounds.
Oh.
I have the better taste than Final Girls. We'll just put it that way.
I'm a Zag though. As soon as they announced that, I bought it. I was like, well, I guess I need all these movies for like the 8th time in a different
format.
Package.
We all have multiple versions, of course.
It's all right though.
Lauren, you mentioned it earlier, but please tell me something about working with John Belushi and Neighbors, because Jesus Christ, talk about a comedy icon.
Oh gosh, what story do you want? I mean, it was
all of them.
All right, I'll give you the good. Am I allowed to curse?
Absolutely.
Fuck yes,
okay.
You are.
Okay, because I always have to ask.
Fuck you want. I don't care.
Okay, so we're filming. There's a dinner scene, and it's Kathy Moriarty, Catherine Walker, Danny Aykroyd, Belushi, me, and John Avildsen, the director, who had won an Oscar for Rocky. Okay, it's very hot in the house where we're filming, and you know, we've got these little teeny tiny fans that they're holding up to our faces, and everybody's just hot and uncomfortable. And we're doing this scene over and over and over again. And John Avildsen said to Belushi, it's just not funny. You just got to make it funnier. And Belushi, you know, he has this little napkin around his neck, and he just takes it and he throws it on the table, and he says to Avildsen right in his face, he goes, why don't you just take your fucking Academy Award and put it on top of the goddamn camera so we know who the fuck you are? He slams his hands on the table, walks off the set, and Danny Aykroyd says, guess it's a wrap for the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Here we go. 1 Degree of Separation from Kevin Bacon. I was doing an off-Broadway show with Kevin Bacon at the time called Album. And we'd already done our respective Friday movies. We never talked about it because he never talked about it. I never talked about it because, like we all said earlier, it was a gig. It was a job.
Right.
So it didn't occur to us to talk about it. But they would come after the show is over, because we'd film Neighbors during the day. And then at night, they'd go out all night. And I was doing the show at night. And they'd pick me up. And we'd go to see Meatloaf in concert and Talking Heads and Adamant. We'd hang out with Carrie Fisher and all those people. It was just, I always call it the best time of my life. It was just burning at both ends. It was great. Yeah, nice. A lot of fun. Yeah, really a lot of fun. Thanks for asking.
Yeah,
I broke Meatloaf's finger.
Okay, now you got to tell this story.
Yeah.
What do we do? What happened there?
Nothing, nowhere near as exciting as anything. But used to do softball in the park, and I happened to be batting, and of course Meatloaf, who was the star of everything that he did, he was the pitcher on his team. And he pitched one into me and line drived it right back to his finger and broke his finger.
Ouch! Dang!
Like a bat out of hell.
Exactly. Of course. Yeah, really. I wish I'd used that.
Wow.
So.
Damn. Well, that's impressive.
Amy, have you ever assaulted Meatloaf?
Not Meatloaf, but I did put the machete through Steve Dash's finger.
That's right.
Yes.
So it's a finger thing.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Go,
and that was
feel
several
free to tell that story
How
too.
long did that hold up production?
For a couple hours when he went to the emergency room, and he went with the machete through his shoulder.
Right.
And then he came back with a rubber, a prophylactic on his finger, going, "Look, everything's fine. It's all fine." And I felt horrible. And Steve was like, "Don't worry about it. He's a stuntman. They love that shit."
Wow.
Some of the best stories I've heard around have come from, like guys like Tom Morgan and stuff, the stuntmen that have been in, just amazing.
Yeah,
stories.
They have good stories, those guys.
Yeah.
All right. Amy Rosie wants to know about April Fool's Day and how was it working with Deborah Foreman?
Oh, yeah.
And also, did you know the twist going in?
Well, probably I knew the twist going in because I had read the script.
You had read the script.
At least I hope I read the script. No, I did. Deborah Foreman was great. Very, like when she was Muffy and Buffy, she was scary. In that final scene going around the table and everything, she had that look in her eyes. I was scared.
The crazy
you guys
eyes,
want to know if it was scary? I mean, can you imagine doing a scene like with Jack Nicholson, and one of his scarier roles in that Stephen King, whatever.
Yeah.
No, come on.
The Shining.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah. So it's like that, so Deborah Foreman was scary. Yeah, she was great though. She was so good. And she's back out on the circuit now, so everybody gets to meet her and hear her stories. She's lovely.
That's good.
That's awesome.
And then Tarek wants to know, also, Amy, you guest starred in some of his favorite 90s shows, Quantum Leap, Time Tracks, Commish, etc. Curious if one of the many guest spots in the 80s and 90s TV that stands out as remarkable to work on.
Well, Family Ties was really great. We already went over that one, but I did an episode of China Beach with Randa Haynes, and that was one of the times where I went, "Oh my God! If you get a great script, it's really amazing how easy the work is."
So you know Marg Helgenberger?
Yeah, and we had the same manager, so that's how I knew Marg.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name for a long time. Do you know her?
Well, I know her because Alan Rosenberg and I are very good friends, and he was married to her for quite some time.
Oh,
In fact, I stayed at their house when I was looking for work in California.
Oh, yeah. He had the same manager. Yeah, so we all kind of like hung out together. But yeah, that was a really, really, really good show to work on. And then the A-Team was fun, Mr. T. I mean, you know, I said to him one time, I go, "What do you do at night to go to bed? He had all those gold necklaces." And I go, "Do you take those off when you go to bed at night?" He says, "It all depends who I'm sleeping with." He was just
whether she can lift weights.
Yeah, I don't know, but he was like Mr. T, like on and off camera. He was Mr. T.
Yeah,
he was a personality, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just born of the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, he lived and ate that role.
Lauren, I have to ask, and I think you mentioned him a little bit, but are there any behind-the-scenes stories that you can tell about Tom McBride, who we lost in '95, unfortunately?
He was a sweetheart.
Oh, hold on, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. No, just that he was such a sweetheart.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
There she is. Okay, go ahead.
There she is. Yeah, Tom was a great guy. Behind the scenes, I guess the only real thing that still tickles me to this day, especially since I knew him from the commercial circuit, is I tried my damnedest to flirt with him. I was just turning the flirt machine on. And finally, one day we were sitting around in the Packanack Lodge, of course, and he said, "Lauren, stop." He said, "You know this is not going to go anywhere." And I was like, "I know, but I keep trying. A girl can try." And then years later, well, not years later, but several years later when I was on Loving, they were replacing one of my love interests. And he came in and he screen tested opposite me. And it was like, like somebody pulled my hair and brought me back to filming in 1980. And I was just that young girl again who was doing her first movie. It was such a rush of just flashbacks to that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. So we got to chit chat a little bit about our time at camp, and that was nice. And yeah, then he got very quickly,
Right.
Yeah. So.
Why didn't he get the role on Loving?
They went with a blonde.
Bastard.
Yeah, I know. I advocated for him. I went to the producer's office and I said, "Please, we did this movie. We don't want to talk about Friday the 13th Part 2." And I said, "I know you don't want," because it was like a no-no on the soap opera because family show.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. But they wound up not casting him, and it was it was a bummer for me. But sorry.
Well, he did have one hell of a death scene in that movie. That's the wildest one.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. It was cool.
Ziggy, let's do one more question from you, and we'll get.
Actually cleared my list.
I gotta go.
Go ahead, Colonel.
Okay, Colonel, jump in.
And Amy, so kind of going back to saying why Ginny was my number one final girl in the Friday the 13th series is because she's a very intelligent fighter, but also she's shown something that no one rarely does in horror movies: empathy towards Jason. Have you thought about how maybe she looked at Jason after the fact? Like, she survived, because obviously she went in survival mode, so she's not thinking anything about that, but years down the road, like as a child psychologist, that she uses experience to kind of help her career and look at Jason maybe at a different light. Obviously she probably lost that empathy towards him. But I know I'm asking a very deep, far out question. I apologize.
Wait, so what's the question part?
All right, let me try to make this sum this up short. So obviously Ginny showed empathy towards Jason.
Right.
When she's attacked. but empathy went out the window. She had to go in survival mode. Have you thought about years later how she might have applied that to her child psychology career? Because she was right. He pretty much was a child in a man's body, really.
Right. Oh, you mean so using that to kind of jump off as Ginny's career as a jumping off place, or my career? You're saying? Or
Ginny's. I'm sorry.
Ginny. Yeah. I don't know. I guess she would probably make use of it, but I don't know if she would have, because she wasn't very successful, because he went on for 10 more episodes. You know, I mean, I think if she had really figured it out or found some way, she would have helped stop him, not just in part 2, maybe. But, you know, just from, or I don't know, you have some empathy for people who have kind of antisocial personality disorder, which is a lot of people, you know, they just don't have any empathy whatsoever. Some bad guys just do not have empathy. Some politicians don't have empathy. But I think,
don't know who
you know,
could be talking about that.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Exactly. So, I mean, I would hope that, I think that's why part 2 was so great, is because Jason actually was a little bit more of a, you know, of somebody who is suffering, which is why I think a lot of people like a lot of horror. They can relate to Jason. They really could relate to him with the flour sack on and everything. Sackhead, they call him. But then all of a sudden he turned into just kind of this robotic monster. I know in some of the shows, and that part of him is not very popular because it's sort of impenetrable. It's like a robot.
And certainly to Steve Dash's credit, he did a hell of a lot of stuff with one eye.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And sometimes no eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He is.
And body language. His body language also.
And, you know, he wasn't a big guy. You know,
No.
he wasn't that tall or, I mean, he was kind of a smallish guy, which I think almost
5'11"?
Yeah, but gave Jason, you know, had a little more empathy for him. You know, he wasn't this gigantic zombie.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of strange where they took the Jason character later.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, especially much later when they threw him in space and all that stuff. But yeah, I do like the fact, like Colonel mentioned, that you were one of the first people, at least in the horror films that I kind of remember, that had a little bit of empathy for the villain, you know. And
well, and you always got to look for that one kernel of, is there some way to crack this code and relate personally?
Right. I like that. Ziggy, did you come up with another question? Or are you?
I did. I was.
Are you blank?
I had one about Steve Dash, and kind of got covered there, so I'm good. Yeah. I just. I'll just say, I know we're going to see Amy in New Mexico here in a couple of months, and we're most likely going to be moderating your panel. So we'll come up with a whole. I'm not sure yet. They haven't decided, but we'll have a whole fresh batch of questions for you there.
So are any of you guys going to be able to come to Crystal Lake, or is that just such a closed kind of party?
We can't make it this year, but I think we're going to try to do some in the maybe next year, because we're kind of focusing on West Coast this year. And I think next year we're going to be focusing on East Coast. So.
Yeah, we definitely have things on the hopper. We're coming back from Frightmares. It's the following week. You guys are going to be there. Hell, if they throw an invite out, I may jump in the car and see you there. We don't know yet.
Well,
but
your drive is a hell of a lot shorter than mine is.
10 years.
That's right.
We've done this before, where I picked him up in Cleveland, and we had to go to Connecticut for a film premiere that we were working a little bit there. So.
Lauren Marie and I are actually going to be in Days of the Dead in Indianapolis.
Really?
With Ron Milkey and I forget who else.
Yeah, we're doing a little road trip. I mean, we're also I'm picking up Bill and Ron Milky on the way to Crystal Lake Camp. Next not this weekend, but next weekend.
Right.
So they're going to take the train from Penn Station. I'll come down from upstate New York and pick them up along the way. They'll hitchhike with me along the way.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Stacy.
Robbie Morgan is going to be in Indianapolis with us too, and she's going to be at the camp at Crystal Lake Camp as well.
That'll
So
be good to see her.
anyway, but it's going to be a cute little road trip to go to the camp next week, and then obviously we'll be doing the road trip with Robbie to Indianapolis too, and Ron.
Nice.
That's so fun.
So much
What a
fun. I can't even
reunion.
tell you. It's very much fun.
Oh my God. All you adult campers getting into a car.
Oh yeah, we pack a cooler.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I pack a cooler, but I never pack anything for Bill.
Make sure to bring the good weed. All right.
Oh, please. Still can't hold a joint. I mean, totally worked for Vickie, but I still don't like. Well, toke.
You were trying to impress Mark. It's okay.
I know. I was doing the whole. I was trying to do what Sandra did and cozy up to him like this, and it just was nice and awkward, which was perfect for Vickie.
Well, Lauren, tell us a little bit more about the Not the Final Girl podcast, and then we'll call it good.
Oh, yeah, it's just a cute little podcast. I've had to go on a little bit of hiatus because I'm taking care of a family member who's very ill in my home. So it's been kind of like a little bit of a roller coaster for the past year, but it's really just interviews with women who were final girls, who are not final girls, guys. I've had Bill and Ron and Russell on, some creators, actresses from other movies, like Nightmare on Elm Street, The Burning. So all ages of actresses and actors as well. And then up and coming filmmakers and a couple cosplayers. That was fun to have cosplayers on. So it's just a half-hour format. If it goes over, like it did with Diane Franklin and Amanda Wyss, it went over. So I made it them a two-parter because we just talked so much about their long careers, and it was fun. So yeah, I got over 5,000 people, watching
mine was
it,
a
listening to it.
Wasn't it?
Yours went on for friggin' ever. It was like its own season.
You can't shut me up.
You and
What'd you ask
Warrington
me
had
about
your own
me?
season.
What'd you ask me about me? Forget it.
And Gordo and the dog. That was an
Gordo,
entire
yes,
episode just on his teeth.
Nice. Well, if you haven't talked to her yet, look up Lauren Lavera from Terrifier 2.
Oh, yes.
Reach
Yeah.
out to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think she would be a fascinating interview on that. So
Yeah.
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the regular
Everywhere.
places? All right.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks. Thank you for asking.
Guys,
it's the event, man. They're let's push it one more time. And I just want to say the organizers of this, they're having this camp event here. Top-notch people, man.
Yes.
And we can't say why. They just did something really cool, and that was well noted and appreciated. So thank you for that. That was cool, and just great people. Glad to be helping you out with this, and good luck with it next week or in 2 weeks when you're out there.
Yeah. Well, thanks you guys for doing this. And,
I know.
it was
Can't
really
wait
nice
to
to
see
meet you, and I
everybody.
look forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for joining us, each and every one of you, including John. And have a wonderful night. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Stay out of the woods.
Stay out of
Stay
the
out of
woods.
the woods. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. The cast.
There they go.
Friday the 13th, part 2.
You can exhale now. Yes, we made it. We had a little challenge there with John's delayed internet. There, it was okay though.
I know, but still, it's like
I think I can retire now. I think you guys. I'm gonna take 2 months off now.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna tell my
that was
kids,
it.
go and play volleyball. I don't need to do a podcast for 2 more months.
That was it. That. Yeah, when we started doing this 5 years ago, almost this is the pinnacle. That's all I needed right there.
This is
the
the kind of
fact
shit.
we were talking about doing this playing
Friday the 13th. Right.
And we would joke about it, talking what we would say to people like Amy Steel, what we would say to, like guys like David Howard Thornton. Wow. That was fucking awesome.
That was awesome.
That was great.
And I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm sure Marina did. I was trying to remember her name because I forgot how she told me to say it. I actually kept my mouth pretty clean. Did you notice how little F-bombs I actually dropped tonight?
You were pretty clean tonight, and I didn't
I
know
was
why.
like purposely trying to be professional, not cuss too much.
Oh, okay.
Because I felt like I got yelled at by my mom for saying too many F-bombs.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, I was like, people kind of used to what we're doing by now, and there's F-bombs. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. Colonel Mom.
Rick says, Ziggy, if you can get to Cleveland, you got a ride to.
To the thing. Yeah, right on. Well,
No, it's best just to miss the mistake by the lake. I'm just messing with you, Rick, because you said Bengals fan. I'm just giving you shit, buddy.
If they invite us to come down to cover it, then we'll be in touch with you, Rick. We'll see it.
I can't make it, man.
I know Crank can't do it, and Colonel's obviously busy and stuff, but I would definitely be, that'd be if I can do it, and my budget's there and everything, I'd be there, brother, for sure. It sounds like it's going to be a great time, and just being at that camp, taking that in. I know they didn't shoot part 2 there. I don't care. I'd still love to be there and just take that environment in.
I just want to go anyway. Because remember when they used to do a lottery?
Yeah, you won.
And I won the lottery and I couldn't go. I was like, oh, bitch.
Should have bought those tickets and sold them. But they don't even let you do that. But man, me and Crank stomped all over Blairstown and went to the diner and everything. And that was fucking amazing. So yes, god damn it, I would it's not off the table. To see how Texas Frightmares goes this weekend, and again, we have to be invited because I'm sure that's an exclusive ticket, my brother.
No shit. But let's maybe plan on going next year.
Oh yeah, even if I go this year,
be a different group.
We'll plan for it. Yes.
Even if it's just the regular tour, I would like to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Just based on, like I said, what we've been doing, just the Dawn of the Dead stuff, the Night of the Living Dead stuff, the Friday the 13th now. I mean, yes, I would absolutely love to go to the actual fucking camp.
You left out Strangers 2? Because that's the only one I think. Because it was shot here.
Strangers 2.
Oh, God.
I gotta get the
Rosie says, that was amazing having them on, guys. No other horror channel can say they had this cast. Wow.
Yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. No. I'm sure that,
I'm sure they've individually been on with a couple of people. Like I watched a lot of podcasts that they have done with
I
other
watched
places,
a couple of panels where they were together. Some of them, not all of them.
Panels,
though. I don't know if we had this particular lineup all together. I think they did, but anyway.
But Rosie, yes, you're right. It is rare for an online show because it's you can't trust the internet sometimes.
And I'm proud of Crank. He handled himself like a complete gentleman tonight. He didn't, no restraining orders from Amy Steel. And
well, you did notice she was the first one to be like, all right, thanks, guys, bye, ploop, and then dipped.
Oh, no. We kept him for a while. I could tell she was getting antsy towards the end. So I hurried up and got that question out. Sorry, Zach, didn't mean to step on your toes.
No, dude, I was just kind of putting the finishing touches on the one I was coming up with there. Because I only had like 5 up. I know Crank had the master list, so we were letting him go.
Amy's probably on the phone to Stacy right now, like, keep them the fuck away from me in Albuquerque, all right?
Restraining order, yeah.
Especially that long-haired guy. He's creeping me out.
He's put on deodorant. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Well, I love that it says at the end of that commercial, it says something like, I trust Arid, which I always heard as I trust Jared. So it's like, Rosie continues to say you are now horror channel gods.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, but thank you. Thank you, Rosie.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back every week. We love you.
Yeah. S. Michael says, great job, guys. I've watched every show since 2018, and you've all come a really long way. Presentation, preparation, and humor, hitting on all cylinders. DCS, baby!
Thanks, brother. I mean, dude, straight up a half hour before we went on the air tonight, I don't get nervous on these ever for these things. And this one I was kind of like, fuck. We're actually going in to bring on like horror royalty here. And the fuck.
I was
starting to settle in here.
I was good up until about 10 minutes before, and then my feet started to sweat, and that's when I know I'm like nervous. It's like, oh god,
Well, like I said, I was nervous as fuck, and I'm rusty. Like I'm coming in
let me
fucking
put
cold.
some deodorant on my feet here.
Yeah, we had 5-6 days to get ready for this. This kind of came right at us out of nowhere. So I mean,
yeah, it did show up short.
So you guys are lucky because you had a chance to add them last week. I'm coming in like, ugh, I didn't get spring training, man. Like what the fuck? I had to jump out of the car, fucking running.
It was definitely a rush for sure.
Tarek says, Colonel, my question for you is Colonel's brains. Fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck shit.
Well, it did that one time when you threw it to him. I was not prepared. I was like,
yeah.
Fuck shit.
There she goes. Stacy says, "Yep, we don't do many podcasts."
No, I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. So
very
shout
much.
out to C&V Promotions.
You need your lawn cut, your house painted or something. We got you next time we're in the area. Thank you. I mean,
Ziggy's going to come and offer to wash your car.
Yeah, walk the dog, the whole thing. You're covered.
Right.
Thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
I didn't even clean out the litter box. Why not?
Joseph says, getting to that camp was one of the best experiences of my entire life. No exaggeration. Getting to spend the night there was extremely special. Yeah. We're going to have to get up there and do that. I know the overnight thing, I think, is like $800 to $1,000 a ticket.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I do.
Well, yes, but I'm seeing like going to these things just enriches my soul. I mean, seeing these things in person is just the fucking best, man.
Yeah.
And so I have to see this camp. I have to. So yes, I'm coming to this camp one way or the other.
And when we're in Pasadena, we're only an hour away from the Part 3 barn.
Of course we're going there. They're rebuilding it, though. I don't know if we're allowed anywhere near that.
We have maybe
we
have contact.
Yes. We have a contact there that's very well versed in this.
We may be able to figure something out there. And we have to do the Universal thing there because I have to see the Psycho House. So right. I know it's not the real one, but I have to see it.
I don't care. I mean, I've never been, so yes, but I'm more concerned about the site tour, the Halloween site tour.
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely getting that.
But yes, anyway, yes, we're, at some point we're coming to the camp. Some capacity.
Oh, Rick says he's been, and it's awesome, to the Crystal Lake reunion. Would go next year as well, and would drive then as well. Also got Ricky's package as we were watching. Good.
Right. Good. Yes. Enjoy.
There we go. Ryan says, I went to the camp last May too. Just an absolute must-see place. The atmosphere is second to none.
Like I said, when we walked into Blair's town, just walked the town and saw the arches and everything, where they shot, and then went to the diner. I was kind of like, God damn it, I just want to go home. We had a 8-hour drive ahead of us, and Craig's, let's just stop and go to the diner, get something to eat. And then once we saw the town, dude, we were both weeping like idiots. It was beautiful. It was just fucking beautiful. And
then we had that moment where we couldn't get into the museum where
museum was closed.
I do start weeping.
It's fine. No, I mean, it's just as many sites of these movies I love that I can see, I will go to. I will make every effort to see while they're still here.
Well, and even in Texas, it's a little bit of a trip, but Trent's house from the Friday the 13th remake is a little bit of a drive away.
That whole thing was in
Texas, down there,
wasn't it?
Didn't
they shoot that whole thing in Texas?
Yeah, the whole movie is shot in Texas, but
Texas is fucking huge, though.
Yeah, but I've got the address for that house. There's a couple of little minor filming locations in Dallas area that we can hit.
We got some
downtime.
downtime.
The Munsters house, I think, was the other one that Joseph recommended, where this family has recreated the old school Munsters house a little bit outside of Dallas that we can go to. So
sounds sweet.
Rosie says, Crank, you moderated beautifully. Thank you.
There you go, Rosie.
there were a couple of moments where she wasn't even talking, but someone else was talking, and I was just like, my eyes just drifted over to the other camera, and I was just like, it's Amy Fuckin Steel.
I was keeping my eye on you. That's what I'm saying.
But I shook it off.
It was fine.
I shook it off.
You shook it off.
You did well.
Just like the Daniel Harris thing, man. It was just like, and then.
Oh, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. Stacy Lee. Wow, I had no idea what this was doing to you guys. Yep. Okay. I didn't know she was still here. We may never get another interview again.
No. It's just in our world. This is like a Super Bowl. So it's
fuck yeah,
huge. Yeah,
fuck yeah, man.
It's just very, very, very cool.
Yeah, like I said, this one really has a personal impact on us as well, just from our beginnings. That's why I was just like, wow, like wow.
It's a milestone, and I guess you could call it a full circle, or but it's still expanding. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But wow.
FaZe says, "I'm proud of you boys. You're fucking killing it."
Thank you, FaZe. FaZe.
Lorena says, "I don't know how you do it. Totally cool, all of you." Wow. I don't know how.
Adderall.
I don't know how we kept it together, but this well. But so
it's cool. I mean, like I said, delay was a little challenging up front, but then we settled in and got it. It's just like, uh-oh.
Nope. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Finish. I didn't realize that was out loud.
We settled in and got it going. We figured out the delay to let him speak, and then add an extra 7 seconds before he would respond, and it got a little confusing there. But like I said, once it smoothed out, it was fine. I feel good. Go ahead.
We'll catch him at some point at a con in person, and we'll sit down with him for a few minutes there, and then I'm gonna fuck with him. I'm gonna like delay for like 7 seconds every time he answers a question. I'm just gonna sit there.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's the bit. He's gonna be like, this guy, man, fucking idiot.
What's fucking wrong with this guy? Tarek says, I didn't realize you guys only had like 6 days prep.
Less.
This, I guess we can kind of tell a little bit of the story. There's nothing.
Just leave out those pertinent details. That's all.
Well, okay. Stacy is also Adam's agent, and we had chatted with her briefly before we had Adam on the show last week, and then afterwards we were chatting, and she was talking to me about, hey, that was a good show. I'm glad it wasn't just a complete bashing of this guy, but you covered it well.
Never would have been either. Never would have been.
And then we had mentioned Morgan Cripp kind of vaguely last week. We had just mentioned it as, hey, we're going to a first-time con in July. And she asked which con it was, and I told him Morgan Cripp in Albuquerque, and I said, do you have any talent there? And she said, yeah, only my 2 favorite final girls. And I wrote back almost instantly. I said, if you're talking about Amy and Adrian, then I might pass out. And this is how I know Stacy's a cool chick, because her next response within seconds was, like the little asterisk, like an action mark. The asterisk, throws pillow on floor to break your fall. Asterisk, and then the next response is, yes. And after I woke up, because I did pass out, we chatted a little more, and I saw the opening. I saw the door open just a little bit, and I kicked that fucker down. I was like, any chance we can get him on the show?
Just, you know what? We do kind of need a quick promotion. No problem.
And she mentioned wanting to promote Crystal Lake Reunion. That's coming up June 2nd and 3rd. So
be there or be squared.
That's right. Yeah. Tickets still available. Go check it out at crystallaketours.com.
Tour, but not a tour.
But it's not a tour. But it's yeah. Well, anyway. But yeah, as soon as I looked at the lineup of that event, I was just like, any chance we could do a Friday 2 reunion? And, Russell Todd Scott was also a potential, but he's traveling, I think, right now, and he couldn't do it. But, yeah, when she said, "Let me see what I can do," I started pissing my pants a little bit. I'll be honest. I was freaking out. And then within minutes, she sent me back like, "Oh, I've got one confirmed, and I'll let you know about the others the next day or so." This is actually fucking. I was freaking out, man. And yeah, Stacy, thank you.
Yeah,
very much. Thank you.
Woo!
Beer, you get a beer, a steak, whatever you need. If you we do run it, if you're coming along with the talent to New Mexico, we'll see you there hopefully.
Get a beer and a steak, huh?
Beer and a steak, whatever you need. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, she even says
something with chilies on it.
She also says, "I'll have to send you photos of the Part 3 visit. She was there before the house burnt down." That's the one that made me go,
Yes, send them.
I'm jealous. It's awesome.
And what kind of fucking morons can't tell a set from real bricks, paper mache and sticks? You fucking morons.
Yeah. Rosie says, "You guys are going to H45. Now I really want to go. We will be there.
Head on over.
We will be there.
We're going. I can't believe we're going, but we're going.
I can believe we're going.
I'm just the tickets, the plane fares. I don't know, man. This is a Spirit airline. I'm concerned, but what has to be done has to be done.
Yep. There's Bella right there. We're going to see her in New Mexico in a couple months. Hey, fellas. What's up, Bella?
We got a job for you for the game show, Bella, too.
Yeah, we may be putting you to work, Bella. I'm just saying.
We'll discuss.
Ryan says, "Rick and I spent a couple of days in Blairstown, too. Also totally awesome. And the museum was fucking closed when we were there, too." I think it's supposed to be reopening sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
I've been told that a little bit, but
it was only open weekends when we were there, and we stopped on a Monday. So I mean,
it's only open weekends, yeah. And we stopped on a Monday, but yeah, I mean, the bit that we filmed there was more of a joke, but I was disappointed that we couldn't get in, but we also knew we weren't going to be able to get in.
Well,
before we got there.
I guess we were just kind of hoping we were going to run into the caretaker there. And, all right, come on in.
Yeah.
But no, I guess that doesn't happen.
Here's $200. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. I loved it too. Blairstown was a trip, man.
Tarek says, "Tonight would have been a great job if you had 6 months prep. All three of y'all pretty damn good at this. Thank you."
No, thank you.
Thank you, Tarek.
Yeah, thanks, man.
BK, that was quite the treat, fellas. Ricardo, thanks for watching. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tarek says, that's a fair way to get an interview. No shame.
Hey, man.
Now, dude, it's
like he said, once we got that door kicked open and then we do an okay job, hopefully other people are noticing and it'll help facilitate other things like this. So, yes, it's nerve-wracking because we can't fuck this up, I mean, if it goes bad, that's it.
Dude, I sent these guys a message, yesterday? I was just like, we can't fuck this up or something. We can't blow this. That's what it was.
Oh, I pulled out the Friday the 13th Bible, the Crystal Lake Memories, and studied part 2, watched it, today, and just to make sure I had it all down pat, everything I needed to know. And then, I just feel like everything's been asked to these people about this movie already. There's nothing you can't find somewhere. Some form of it has already passed their ear.
That's the hard part. Why else am I going to ask them about having 8 inches of fucking hair on top of their head? What else to ask?
It still stings a little bit when you ask him a question, though, and John goes, "Oh, yeah, I've never heard that one before." And I was just like, I
knew that. I know he's been asked that before.
Well, if he's been live or dead, that's pretty fucking common, man. I think it needed to be asked.
What dinosaur was, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
What's your favorite dinosaur? I thought you were going to ask that at one point. I was like, God damn it.
I only did that.
You've done that 3 times. I can't remember who all to, but you've done that 3 times.
Hey, but it's an icebreaker. They always laugh. Then everybody goes back to 2nd grade where that was the most important question you could ever fucking answer.
Or they start looking at the clock going, how soon can I fucking bail on this shit?
Right.
No, it was fine. It was good. I mean, I wish the dude's internet was better, but I mean, it's still fine.
Well, like I said, we'll catch him at a con someday and get it. So,
right.
Faye says a great story. Some of the best things happen super suddenly. Stacy Lee says looking forward to meeting you guys there. Oh wait,
hey,
you said you'd paint for me.
Oh fuck.
So Ziggy said that. So
you live in New Mexico? Shit.
No, but she needs something painted, maybe.
Yeah, you gotta paint. So. Yeah, you can sign up, buddy.
Be happy to paint you a nice picture or something. I don't know. Never done
sure
it
about that. Oh, and Stacy, wait till you see the painting I'm gonna have in New Mexico for Amy to sign.
Beautiful.
I mean, you see these beautiful things behind me? Same artist did.
That way, yeah. This one. Oh, wait, you can't see my cursor.
Fuck out of the way.
Yeah, most of the I've got a Friday the 13th 2 painting coming with this artist's work on it, and it's amazing.
He's amazing, and I've seen it. I saw the completed work, dude, and I'm jealous. I must now have a Friday the 13th painting from Angelo.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it looks great.
He's good. And then, you got to get that autograph somewhere, dude. I don't know what you're going to get, some kind of gold Sharpie or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's going up like right next to Amy's head.
Oh,
above that in that area.
Amazing.
Faye says you guys are incredibly talented at this. You're naturals. The fact that you worry about doing well enough is a good thing. Much better than thinking that you're always going to nail it. Here's the thing. Most of the time, I do think I'm going to nail it. Because
there's no pressure anyway, you know.
I come prepared.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That you do.
And
mine's all digital. I can't pick it up and show you.
See, well, what's great is this was the only time I actually kind of wrote down questions. I'll be honest with you guys, because usually Crank's so in depth. I just get my questions just come out based on what everybody was saying. It's like just an add-on because I know he has 90% of the questions I can come up with fucking covered before we like. So it's like, all right, let me see where there's an opening for me to get them out.
Couple of
this one was different though.
From the hip ones tonight, you know, I think a couple of them came out were pretty good. You know, from everybody, different stuff. You know, like we wanted to know if Jenny could have stood up against zombie Jason. You know, I just wanted to see what do you think about that? Have you ever thought about that? Can't kick him in the balls.
This one was different though because I was incredibly nervous about this one again because of my love of part 2 and my love of Ginny and Amy Steel. But I messaged the guys yesterday. And I was just like, I can't fucking I'm broken. I haven't got that I haven't gotten that question yet that they hadn't heard or they haven't heard thousands of times.
That's the anxiety.
And I think I finally got it today.
The whole fucking thing, man. It was like that. And everything I looked at, I was like, I was like scratching off my notepad. It's like, here it is again. I just come to the conclusion that they've pretty much heard it all after 41 years. So,
right. But I think there were a couple
that
we got to them that weren't maybe wholly original.
No, but it sparked stories.
They've been talking about the same movie for 42 years, so it's hard not to run into repeats.
How often are we getting fucking Meatloaf setbacks and broken finger stories? You know, that was
Spielberg stories and John Spielberg stories.
Yeah, you know,
I did want to ask John if Eric Roberts was as difficult to work with as he, is rumored to be, but I'll save that for another day.
We'll see him.
All right. Tarek says, I don't know hardly anything about the franchise. Really? What the hell are you doing here then? But I pulled up Amy's Wikipedia and was like, holy shit, she's been in almost everything I watched in the 90s. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She had a great run in the 80s and 90s. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yep. Stacy likes your painting. Oh my God, Gates of Hell.
The best.
Now she's gonna want you to paint the side of her house just like that.
Hey, you're gonna have to. If you want that done, you're gonna have to fly this guy in from Japan. So
you need his contact. I got it.
We got it.
And he would love to paint for you. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's an Italian gentleman. He will fire ideas back and forth with you, and you'll come up with the perfect commission. And
I'll send you a picture of mine too here in a little bit so you can see it. But
the latest one he's doing for me is another Gates of Hell. It's actually Mary Woodhouse in the coffin, breaking out of it. It's fucking sick, man.
And that looks good too.
Does look good.
And then I've got to get him started on a Twin Peaks one too before end of July. Hopefully I can get that.
He's aware now that you don't have a really good conception of time.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
That was funny. He's like, what's he mean?
I knew it would take a little while, but you're the one that made me fuck up that conception of time because you were just like, oh yeah, that to me in the mail in a week.
He
was like, what?
It was painted from nothing. In 5 days, it was finished. That's it. It was done. So I don't know. It was funny, but yes, you'll love it. He's one of the best, and he's definitely on the rise.
Joseph says again, guys, congratulations on tonight. Thank you, Joseph.
Thanks,
This is fun and kind of a big deal, I guess. Yeah,
it's gonna be adrenaline gonna be pumping for a while after this one, man.
Oh, I'm gonna be like for hours after this.
Keep
Lorena says, I think what Chris means is that you take this seriously and it shows. Yeah, of course.
I don't. Why would I take this?
Yeah, the Colonel doesn't. But
we're glad you made it back, though. I mean, this was the perfect one to bring your bearded ass back in here.
Yes, but that was not the perfect thing to come back to cold.
Oh, I agree.
That's like son of a bitch, right?
Come in and do the top five films in 1997 or something would have been much better, Yeah.
No, I'm proud of myself though. I did good. And Lorena, just so you know, I backed out last fucking second and putting the Summer's Eve commercial up. I'm like, nope, I ain't gonna do it because I didn't want to offend anybody. So
we'll show it. We'll show it to her someday when we see her.
I'm not worried about it. So.
How about that? Tarek says, yes, Ziggy, about the questions. The ones I heard were really good. This is not a press junket type questions. Good.
Tried to reword some of the stuff.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Stacy says, John and Eric are friends, maybe neighbors, if I recall. That's interesting.
Right. Well, shit.
Cool. I've just heard Eric Roberts is rough to work with. So.
Eric fucking Roberts.
Rosie says, my friends on other channels are going to freak when I tell them, and I'll say, your fault, suckers. I told you to sub.
Right.
Yeah, bring them on. It's not part 2, but in 2 weeks, we do have the director of Stephen King's The Boogeyman, which drops in theaters here June 2nd. We'll have Rob Savage on the show. So,
I think that's huge too, man.
That's a big deal in a different respect.
Yes. Host, we loved Host. Host was our #1 movie of 2020. Yep. That was his baby, and I'm sure we'll have lots to say about that. But here he is stepping into the mainstream with a Stephen King title, and it's fucking Boogeymen are scary. Hopefully they did it right, and we're going to review it and interview him. Can't wait.
Right. Yeah, so... Tarek says next Monday, top 10 reasons we didn't think of content since last Monday.
I know all 10 of Crank's answers, and it's only one.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Recapping next week?
I don't
Nightmares?
Well, we're doing a live from...
Oh, that's right.
Live from Texas, because we'll be in Texas. Colonel will chime in, too.
Colonel's joining us via satellite.
Yeah, so as far as I know, it's just going to be kind of a recap of the Texas deal. Hopefully we'll have some clips and all that. Lorena says, I was wondering about the Summer's Eve commercial. Almost asked, but didn't want you to take it as a suggestion.
Like I said, I wanted to behave as best as I could tonight. Be very professional, clean up the language, because this was a huge deal to us. Like,
right.
I didn't say every other word.
Yeah.
Even though I so have tended to be like, fuck the Browns. If it was a normal episode, just to mess with Rick a little bit. But I had to hold it in. That's why I got it out now.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we got a little weird going down the menstrual elbow there from the speech there, but fuck,
that makes sense though. But we're guys. We're not going to know
we
about
have
that
to wonder
stuff
about
when we
this.
watch it.
Yes, we understand the premise, what's going on, but I'm saying, what is the personal? That's what are you hitting her for? That we went, you remember that time when I didn't want to even get into it, you know?
Right.
Could have
That's
been
messed
a
up.
number of horrible things could have been uttered there at that point. And they were all right here, and I was just going, I could sink this ship right now with some of these thoughts.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't want to do it.
All right. Yes. Next week we have a kind of a recap of Texas Frightmare weekends, but also Sunday night before we are going to do a live watch. This is just for the members only, though. So if you're not a member, head on over to deathcursesociety.com. We're going to do a live watch along while we're in Texas of Host and Dashcam. So, Colonel, get ready.
That's news to me, really.
Well, you know, if you guys would look at the planner, you know, more than once a month, maybe you'd know. But
I knew
from the planner. Take it more seriously. It doesn't seem urgent.
So-
I might be able to stick around for Host. I don't know if I can do a double feature, but
all right.
so, you know, I could probably stick around for that one.
Yeah, Host is short too.
Yeah, it's less than an hour. So, and even the dash cam is only like an hour 20. So
Yeah, but it's also
Sunday night.
Memorial, dog, you're off Monday.
I was going to say, I got to get the kids ready for work. I'm like, school. I'm like, wait a minute, no, they're out of school.
Yeah.
I might be able to, I can guarantee one. We'll try two. We'll see.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
That's all we're asking now. So, but yes, gang, if you are interested in checking out the Crystal Lake reunion, I'm going to throw it up here one more time, and I'll throw the link in the comments for you guys to go and check out tickets and more information.
I mean, look at that fucking lineup, man.
Look at that
oh my
lineup.
God, dude.
Look at that lineup.
A bunch of people from part 1, a bunch of people from part 2, and the maestro himself, Harry Manfredini. You gotta, if you're in the area and you have any kind of chance, you gotta go. But Adrian King, Robbie Morgan, Deborah Hayes, Ron Milkey, Harry Manfredini, Amy Steele, John Furey, Russell Todd, Lauren Marie Taylor, and Bill Randolph. That's a lineup right there.
If Friday the 13th is your thing, what the fuck? That is where you want to be. And it's coming right up, too.
That's right. So make sure to get your tickets for that. Thank you to C&V Promotions and Stacy for hooking us up with this.
Last act.
Like I said, next week we have a Texas Frightmare wrap-up. We're just going to kind of BS with you, so bring your questions. Hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to show you and play with you on a little bit. And 2 weeks from tonight, Mr. Rob Savage, director of Host, Dashcam, and The Boogeyman, which is in theaters June 2nd. So, yeah, another big interview.
Well, there you go. There you go. Go to Jersey the day early. Watch The Boogeyman on June 1st. Get an early showing. Then go to the thing the 2nd and 3rd. That'd be a hell of a weekend right there,
dude.
That's right. And man.
Uh-oh.
I almost forgot something, and that would be a thing to do. So,
sure would.
Speaking of members, let me thank them one last time. Thanks to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, Charles, Tanya, and Tyrone, and our crazy Ralph Raymond, and our camp counselors, Canada Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, Michigan Dave, and JJ. Thank you, guys. Head on over to deathcursesociety.com. Make sure if you want to become a member, check that out. And if you are a member, stay tuned soon because you will be getting a link about the live event on Sunday. Hope you guys can all join us. Ziggy, send them out.
Real quick, we didn't have much time tonight, but I wanted to show some of the prototype swag we got coming up here. Look at that, a backpack. This one's custom to me, of course, but we got Father Thomas up in there to keep the drinks cold with the gays. It's perfect. You know? But yeah, this one, it's something that's going to be appearing at our store. We haven't really kind of worked it out yet, but I'll give it a run this weekend here in Texas Frightmares. We'll see if it holds up to the test. Until then, that's right. Texas Frightmares is on. We're coming, and we're going to get fucking crazy. John Carpenter, Sam Raimi. Whew. I don't know what the fuck, man. It's going to be insane. But this one's more of a vacation for us. We're going in to have some fun. We're going to get our bits and everything, but then it's time to get to fucking work for New Mexico, man. Curse Your Luck live coming your way, and it's getting real serious now, man. It's getting real serious.
And then Pasadena in September. So Rosie, get your tickets. Go to H45. Meet us up there. Let's hang out.
It's gonna be awesome.
Colonel.
Guys, I've been paid for the past 3 months from this podcast because I can't do all these things you guys do. And that's all right. I'll talk to my agent and see why I'm getting shafted on the fucking paychecks. And so anyway, what the hell? I'm back for now. It's nice to be back. I missed you guys a lot. I really did. That's why I try to comment when I could at a game here and there. I really can't have people watching me in the stands see Zag get fucking stoned and talk about horror while I'm watching, a bunch of softball games. So I'm glad to be back. And you hear it? I always said I want to change this. I want to change this. I want to change this. But I haven't said it in 2 months. So don't get sick. Wash your dick. And don't smell like Scuba Steve. Use Summer's Eve.
Ah, the French.
That's the one thing, though.
That was nice.
All right. That was very nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for watching. One last time, thank you to Stacy and CMV Promotions. This was literally a dream come true.
A dream come true. It
I could
literally
die.
It was.
I could die tonight or tomorrow and be absolutely happy. That's all there is to it. Thanks, guys. And
leave it at that.
It's for you. It's for you guys. It's for you guys, and because of you guys, that we get to do this stupid shit. Yeah. And I hope it means as much to you as it does to me. So, thanks, guys, and hope to see you in Texas next week. So, for the Colonel, for Zigzag, I'm Red Crank saying DCS out. See you next week.
You want something to eat?
Could have had a V8, 100% vegetable juice, with 3 of your daily vegetable servings in every little bottle.
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid.